Service in downtown Cleveland.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. The RNC officially opens today, and former President Donald Trump is in Milwaukee after the assassination attempt at his Pennsylvania rally. Republican National Committee Chair Michael Whatley says programming will go on as planned.
Because it is tremendously important for the American people that we have a president who is going to restore our southern border, restore our economy, and restore our standing in the world.
President Biden urging the nation to bring the political temperature down in an Oval Office address.
A former president was shot, an American citizen killed, while simply exercising his freedom to support the candidate of his choosing. We must not go down this road in America.
The gunman's motive is still a mystery. President Biden ordering an independent security review. America's listening to Fox News.
The news is sponsored by Lee University, where you can expect something great.
The Mix 104.1 News Desk brought to you by Logan Thompson Law, a tradition of legal and community service. That's Logan Thompson Law at LoganThompsonLaw.com.
There are a lot of banks, so what makes Southern Heritage Bank unique? It's our commitment to being unbelievably good as we identify and meet your needs. Stop by one of our 5 locations in Cleveland or Chattanooga and let us show you the difference our customers have come to expect. We strive to offer the latest banking technology, mobile wallet, online account opening, mobile banking with bill pay, and ATMs that allow cash or check deposit. All available 24/7 with a local community bank. Southern Heritage Bank, a division of First Citizens National Bank, member FDIC.
The Logan Thompson Law News Desk. Here's your news for Monday, July 15th on Mix 104.1 and MixTV.tv. From the Chattanoogan, one person has died and another is hospitalized in serious condition following a 2-vehicle collision on Liberty Hill Road on Evansville Mountain in Ray County. The incident occurred around noon on Saturday. The Tennessee Highway Patrol, assisted by the Ray County Sheriff's Department, is investigating the crash. No other information has been released at this time. From the Cleveland Daily Banner, the Charleston City Commission discussed the potential closure of the Cass Lane Railroad crossing due to safety issues at its recent meeting. Norfolk Southern is conducting a 30-day study on the crossing, which is close to the intersection with Bates Street. Police Chief Jody Musselwhite highlighted concerns about vehicles potentially stopping too close to the tracks, posing a safety risk. Options discussed include installing flashing lights and additional signage to enhance safety. WCLE will keep you up to date on this story. The Bradley County Building and Land Committee unanimously voted to recommend accepting the City of Cleveland's proposal to exchange the county's aging fire rescue headquarters building on Inman Street for a new fire garage on Menace Road. The decision follows nearly a year of negotiations and addresses structural concerns with the current facility. The new metal fire garage will accommodate more equipment and improve operational efficiency for the fire and rescue departments. Additionally, the committee discussed repurposing the old Waterville Elementary School property, potentially for fire training purposes, pending the County Commission's approval. The committee meeting can be watched in its entirety at MixTV.tv. The County Commission will meet tonight at 7 p.m. to take a vote on this and several other issues. You can watch that meeting live also on MixTV.tv. The Bradley County Sheriff's Office says they have recently received numerous reports of a phone scam in the Bradley County area. The scam involves the caller posing as law enforcement, especially current and former Sheriff's Office employees, telling people that there is a warrant out for their arrest in an attempt to get money from the intended victims. The Bradley County Sheriff's Office says if there is ever a warrant out for your arrest, you will find out in person and never by a phone call. call. Also, do not give money in any form to someone who solicits it over the phone until you verify the caller's authenticity. If you are in doubt, call the sheriff's office at 423-728-7311. From the Chattanooga, Walker Valley High School graduate Bennett George has improved his international rankings in extreme kayaking after a strong performance at the 2024 ICF Junior World Championship. George moved up from 28th to 23rd in the world rankings. His achievement follows a first-place finish at the USA Time Trials earlier this year, solidifying his status as a rising star in the sport. Following the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump at a campaign rally on Saturday in Pennsylvania, many Tennessee elected officials have issued statements condemning the violent act. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee took to social media Saturday evening to show support for Trump, saying, quote, "Maria and I asked Tennesseans to join us in praying for President Trump and his family and all who were in attendance at today's rally in Pennsylvania." Tennessee Senator Bill Hagerty said, quote, "Pray for our president. He's the strongest person I know." Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn posted to her social media channels, quote, "Join me in praying for President Trump and the law enforcement personnel who are tending to him and citizens at the scene." House Speaker Cameron Sexton said, quote, "As we wait for more news, join me in praying for Donald Trump, his family, and all the attendees at today's rally in Pennsylvania." Congressman Chuck Fleischmann, who himself was called in a shooting incident in 2017 during practice for that year's congressional baseball game, also released a statement saying, quote, "Please join Brenda and I in prayer for President Trump, his Secret Service team, and all those in attendance at his rally. We pray for his speedy recovery." For more on local and state news, visit mymix1041.com, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and download our app that sends you instant notifications when news breaks. For Mix 1041 and MixTV.tv, this is Emily Beatty reporting.
All right, good morning. Let's get a check of traffic here. This Don Ledford Cleveland Mix Highway Patrol report is brought to you by Don Ledford in Cleveland. They are your exclusive home of Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC, located on North Lee Highway, and anytime at donledford.com. We have no reports of any accidents this morning. So far, things are looking great out there. If you see a traffic problem, give us a call. The volunteer Ridipest Mix line is 614-6499. You can also text us at that same number on the Cleveland State Cougar line. This traffic report is brought to you by Waste Connections of Cleveland. Efficient, state-of-the-art automated curbside service. Find out more by visiting wasteconnections.com/ClevelandTN.
All right, good morning, everyone. Mix 1041. We are on MixTV.tv, and you are now part of a special broadcast this morning. This is obviously the aftermath of the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. So beginning here in just a few minutes, we're going to be talking with some of the leading national, state, and some also local officials about what happened Saturday in Butler, Pennsylvania. So we'll have all of that. A very unique and interesting morning coming up here on Mix 1041 as well as MixTV.tv. And let me, we'll do that in a second. Burchett is back. I'm here. Fruit Loops is there. Good morning, Fruit. How are you doing?
Good morning, boss. I'm doing just fine.
Yeah. What'd you make of all the coverage Saturday and Sunday of the attempted assassination?
Well, I've noticed that everyone who doesn't normally watch the news are now paying attention because when something like this major happens, you know, the entire country is watching. So.
Burchett, what do you think?
Yeah, it's just, I haven't been able to, look away from it, really. I've just kind of been, as new information is coming in, just trying to keep up with all of that.
And, of course, the Republican National Convention starts today in Milwaukee. Two of our guests coming up, maybe three of them. I don't know if I would imagine Congressman Burchett, who's going to come up about 7:30, is in Milwaukee. I know Senator Hagerty and Congressman Fleischmann are all in Milwaukee. today at the Fiserv Forum in that area where it's going to be happening. But, truly just a stunning event on Saturday evening, and tons and tons of reverberations and lots of news coming out of it. But a big question is, how did it happen? And we're going to, one of our guests this morning can take us inside Secret Service preparations for presidential and visits and events like this. Tim Gobble, who is, of course, a former Secret Service agent, as many of you know, former Bradley County Sheriff, will join us next hour. So it's going to be a very busy morning, 11 minutes after 7. It's Hardee's Wake Up. Big happy birthday to Julia Scoggins of J&S Restaurants and Hardee's. Julia, the longtime, the daughter of the founder, George Johnson, and now her and her brother, Mark Johnson, lead our local Hardee's, J&S, and happy birthday, Julia. At Hardee's, and of course, there's one near you. Hardee's, they say, get ready, celebrate summer with Hardee's new blueberry biscuit goodness. This sweet biscuits loaded with blueberry flavor, topped with drizzled icing, served during breakfast hours. Available as a single 2-pack or 4-pack at a Hardee's near you. 11 after 7. Good morning.
When the classic flavors of bacon, lettuce, and tomato meet the classic goodness of Hardee's Frisco lineup, you get instant summer favorites. Introducing Hardee's Frisco BLT Angus Burger and Frisco BLT Hand-Breaded Chicken Sandwich.
Sun is shining, it's a beautiful day. Wake up, sleepyhead, get up and play. Everything's yellow, it's a beautiful sight. Sunbeam showers makes everything right. Come on now, let's get away.
Make every day brighter with the sunny southern goodness of Mayfield Dairy.
Okay, pop quiz, hotshot. What's not royalty but comes in queen or king?
Dad, a mattress, duh.
Okay, you passed that one, but you better not fail the mermaid mattress back to school test.
I did study for this one. Right now, we're paying your sales tax and we'll deliver your mattress for free.
You always were a good student.
Thanks, Dad, that's sweet. How about this for extra credit for the college kids? We've got dorm mattress toppers for only $99.
Top of the class, but it's only at Mermaid Mattress, Chattanooga's best of the best mattress store.
For like a million years now.
This month, it's all about you at Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland with our You Pick event. Choose a brand new Nissan Sentra, Versa, or Kicks with no money down and just $275 a month. That's right, no money down and only $275 a month. At Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland, it's all about what you want. Visit us today at cleveland-nissan.com. Come see us at Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland and drive home in your dream car.
Hey, it's Josh with exciting news from Wholesale Supply. I want to introduce you to Piper's Picks, now available in our Chattanooga, Cleveland, and Dalton markets. Thanks to our partnership with Piper Strummett and our friends at Progress Lighting, Piper's Picks brings you the latest trends and styles in decorative lighting. Browse our curated selection in our showrooms and make lighting your project easier than ever. Visit Wholesale Supply today and discover Piper's Picks, where style meets innovation. To find out more information and a location near you, visit wholesalesupply.us for more.
Save a bundle at Eller & Owen's Furniture and Mattress. Furniture, mattresses, and decor. The more you buy, the more you save. Up to 40% off. Create a bundle, a sofa and chairs, end tables, a recliner, lamps and rugs, an entire room. Up to 40% off. Create a custom bundle and watch the savings grow. Up to 40% off. Look for Take Me Home Today tags. Bundle in-stock items. Special financing is available. Bundle and save at Eller & Owen's Furniture and Mattress.
Come by from the Tennessee Valley's only truly factory direct mattress company, Mermaid Mattress.
All right, for today, we'll have a few clouds and then a possibility of an isolated thunderstorm this afternoon, a high of 94 and a low of 73 this evening. For tomorrow, partly cloudy early in the day and then a 40% chance of scattered thunderstorms during the afternoon, a high of 93 and a low of 72 tomorrow evening. And then on Wednesday, a few showers during the morning and then thunderstorms during the afternoon with a high of 93. Your current Milligan Vein temperature is 75 degrees. And then looking at the Central Heat and Air weather radar, things are looking great out there this morning.
This weather forecast is brought to you by PhD Pharmacy, Key Street near Harrison Pike. Free delivery within 50-mile radius of Cleveland. Call Gina Mosier Patterson today at 423-614-6650.
The best mix, the best variety. Mix 104.1.
You need money overnight? Check into cash. Your time is tight. .com. Bank account's too low? Check into cash. So where do you go? .com. Do it online in a record time. It's the easy way to get money next day. Do a quick click from home at checkintocash.com. You can be sure it's secure from our bank straight to yours. Do a quick click from home at checkintocash.com. Boom, boom, ba-dum, boom.
Paula, tell us about how you came to shop at Chattanooga Auto Square.
Well, I was introduced to it from my husband. He purchased his first Range Rover years ago. And then occasionally I'd start asking him if I could start driving it. I would confidently recommend them. I mean, they make you feel like family from the moment you arrive. Being in real estate for like 34 years, you really come to value and appreciate the level of service that Range Rover gives you. Chattanooga Auto Square, luxury lives here.
Peyton Southeastern in Cleveland is hiring case selectors. Starting pay at $19 an hour. Earning potential up to $23 an hour plus incentive pay. Additional $2 an hour night shift premium. And you're eligible to earn a $3,000 stay bonus. Flexible schedules and great benefits at Peyton Southeastern in Cleveland. They have open interviews Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 9 to 11 a.m. and from 1 to 3 p.m. Apply online at jobs.kroger.com to work at Peyton Southeastern in Cleveland.
Hi, I'm teaming up with Food City to support Paralyzed Veterans of America. You can donate $1, $3, or $5 from July 3rd through the 30th at the checkout. Your contributions help our heroes live the lives they deserve and receive what they need most. Join the mission to help our veterans. Today, you can make a real difference.
I told my son to find me the nicest place to live in Cleveland. He said, Dad, there's only one place, and that's Garden Plaza. And I moved into the patio home. Everybody knows your name from day one, and there's something to do all day long if you want to participate in it. You cannot possibly be bored at Garden Plaza. It is just great, and their food is outstanding. It's out of this world. I'm so happy I'm here. Garden Plaza is it for me.
You're watching Mix Mornings on Mix TV. Here is your current Kia of Cleveland time. And your current temperature in Cleveland is brought to you by Milligan Vein.
Z-Keys, Steve Hartline with you along with Burchett and Fruit Loops. We are back this morning for a special broadcast. We have several elected officials and also former elected officials coming to be on this morning. The aftermath of the attempted assassination of the former president, Donald Trump, who's expected even tonight to make his vice presidential choice at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, where, by the way, several local people are in Milwaukee this morning. And we'll be talking about that coming up 19 after 7. Let's get a check of our Simmons Bank celebration list.
Okay, happy birthday to Julia Scoggins today, owner of J&S Restaurants and Hardee's here locally. I hope she has a great birthday today. Edie Payne is also celebrating today. Her grandparents sent that in to us. Rudy Felton and his sister Judy Payne, they are twins. They're celebrating their 75th birthdays today. So this is Ryan's dad and his aunt.
That's
so
right.
Ryan wanted to be sure and give them a shout out this morning. John Goodwin is having a birthday today. That is from his wife, Michelle. Eddie and Michelle Garland, they are celebrating their 33rd wedding anniversary today. They tell us they are high school sweethearts. Justin Gregory is celebrating a birthday today. He's a special ed teacher at Walker Valley. Sky Williams is 16 today. His family says, watch out. He's going to be driving soon. That is from Mom, Dad, Leo, River, and Gaga. And then Karen Miller is having a birthday today. That is from her husband. Calling your birthdays and wedding anniversaries to us. We'll take those on the Volunteer Ridipest Mix line, 614-6499. You can also text us at that same number on the Cleveland State Cougar line. Go to our website, mymix1041.com, or download our free Mix 1041 app. It's the Simmons Bank Celebration List. Simmons Bank gives you more for a better banking experience with convenience in mind. Call Ken Do, 423-381-3427.
The Mix 1041 News Desk, brought to you by Logan Thompson Law, a tradition of legal and community service. That's Logan Thompson Law at LoganThompsonLaw.com. The Chattanooga.com reports one person died, another hospitalized in serious condition following a two-vehicle collision in Evansville, or on Evansville Mountain in Ray County. It happened Saturday afternoon. More on that coming up. The Bradley County Sheriff's Office says they've recently received numerous reports of a phone scam here in Bradley County. Bradley County Building and Land Committee unanimously voted to recommend accepting the City of Cleveland's proposal to exchange the county's aging fire and rescue headquarters building on Edmond Street for a new fire garage on Menace Road. Also, we will have much more news, all coming up at the top of the hour, 7:21.
This news update brought to you by Cleveland Plywood Company, 2700 20th Street Northeast in Cleveland.
All right, good morning. Let's get a check of traffic here. This Don Ledford Cleveland Mix Highway Patrol report is brought to you by Don Ledford in Cleveland. They are your exclusive home of Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC, located on North Lee Highway, and anytime at donledford.com. We have no reports of any accidents this morning. Things are looking great out there. If you see a traffic problem, give us a call. The Volunteer Ridipest Mix line is 614-6499. You can also text us at that same number on the Cleveland State Cougar line. This traffic report is brought to you by Southland Finance. Loans up to $20,000. Call Dusty and the team at Southland Finance. They're located at 950 25th Street in Cleveland in front of Ace Hardware. 423-458-3007. Online at southlandfinance.net. We'll check your Mermaid Mattress Weather Center forecast coming up.
Listen up, Tennessee. This is John Davis, the trading man for Kia Cleveland on South Lee.
Are you a busy family? Direct Primary Care Associates has helped the Rogers family and how they do medicine.
Direct Primary Care Associates has been a great support to our family. It's taken the doctor's office experience from a nightmare to a dream. I'm able to come in with all three of my kids. I'm seen in a timely manner by really professional, wonderful people.
Yeah, Direct Primary Care has been great for us, whether it's a bump or a bruise or a gash on the arm, or whether it's a fever at night or a stomach ache. We're able to either text our doctors through the app and ask questions, or we're able to get an appointment relatively pretty quick and be able to be seen that same day or next day usually. And it's changed the way that we view medicine.
If you'd like to learn more about Direct Primary Care Associates, visit our website at directpca.com or call 423-650-4831.
Did you know that drinking and driving is a leading cause of traffic fatalities? It kills more than 28 people in the United States every day. That means one person every 52 minutes. Statistically, young people are the most at risk to drink and drive, but not everyone's doing it. Don't drink and drive.
Well, we like to think what makes Andrew Johnson Bank different is the way we work with our community and our customers. We also have a great staff with a lot of experience that we feel like can help you whatever your need is for banking. I love the community of it. Like I said, I was born and raised here. I've seen it grow, and I love our growth pattern. It's just a great place to live with friendly people that just make you feel at home.
Cleveland Tire is ready to help your auto any way it can. We're one of the largest providers of Bridgestone and Firestone tire dealers in the area. We sell all major brand tires. We have ASE certified mechanics on staff 6 days a week. We also have a commercial truck tire center that provides 24-hour roadside service and minor mechanical repairs on site. We have built our reputation on years of quality, affordable work and tires. We pride ourselves in customer satisfaction and great service. Cleveland Tire Center.
479-6377 or allsafetn.com.
Champion Cleaners is your one stop for all your laundry, from dry cleaning to laundry needs and even fluff and fold. Champion Cleaners offers exceptional and convenient service, so you don't have to waste your time on laundry. Champion Cleaners also offers free pickup and delivery service. Champion Cleaners, located at 4590 Northley Highway, or call them at 473-0500. Get your life back with Champion Cleaners.
Tennessee Valley weather.
725 X1041 MixTV.tv inside the Mermaid Mattress Weather Center.
Keep it local in all you do. Our local businesses need you now more than ever. And if you need a mattress, you know that Mermaid Mattress has been your local mattress factory since 1979.
All right, for today, we'll have a few clouds and then the possibility of an isolated thunderstorm this afternoon, a high of 94 and a low of 73 this evening. For tomorrow, partly cloudy early in the day. We'll have scattered thunderstorms developing later with 40% chance, a high of 93 and a low of 72. And then on Wednesday, a few showers during the morning and then thunderstorms during the afternoon with a high of 93. Your current Milligan vane temperature is 75 degrees. And then looking at the central heat and air radar, things are looking great out there this morning.
This weather forecast is brought to you by Aubrey's of Cleveland. Aubrey's of Cleveland offers some of the most fresh and delicious food in East Tennessee. Stop in tonight for dinner or order online at aubreysrestaurant.com. Click the Cleveland location and order there.
All right, also a special broadcast. We're going to begin getting our guest on with Congressman Tim Burchett, United States Congressman Tim Burchett of Knoxville, going to join us. He was on Fox News yesterday. With some very strong thoughts and also his thinking about the attempted assassination of former President Trump. He'll be joining us here in just a few moments.
WCLE Mix 1041.
Also, sports coming up next. Birthdays, anniversaries, we'll take them on the Simmons Bank celebration list. At 423-614-6499. Call or text. Good Monday morning, July 15th.
Tennessee Valley with some heats and then some four-letter words that starts with a C, which could be cold, and then another one with an R. Clay?
We'll say cool, Paul, but
not cold.
Not cold yet,
Okay.
but hey, we're getting there. But crank up that AC, make it cold in the house because you're going to need it today. It is hot out there and humid. Temperatures generally going to be in the 90s. And here's a look at our new weather wall. Pretty state of the art, if you ask me. Very nice, and I hope you're all enjoying the new studio so far. But here's a look at temperatures. Again, stepping out the door, it's pretty warm out there. 81 already in Chattanooga. We really didn't cool down all that much overnight with the cloud cover. 77 in Cleveland, 71 in Blue Ridge, 73 in Lafayette. So as you can tell, there's already very warm air locked in across the Tennessee Valley today. Once again, mid to upper 90s with some areas potentially pushing over 100 degrees. Now, this past weekend, we hit 100 twice in Chattanooga, making the fourth time this year, and that's rivaling what we had back in 2012, where we had 9 days in the triple digits. And that was one of the hottest years on record. So we're well on our way. But as we take a look at your hour by hour, notice the heat index climbing over 100 later this afternoon. We're going to have a lot of cloud cover early, but as that sun breaks through, that's going to give us that lift, producing some of those pop-up showers and storms. But right now, all is quiet, high pressure building in. A lot of cloud cover, however, that kept the heat trapped overnight, and that's why it's so warm here in Chattanooga in the 80s. Those dew points are up. Yeah, we had a little bit of a reprieve in the humidity last week, not so much this week, as we're just going to be dealing with very humid conditions, but it is going to cool down a little bit. Despite the humidity, we are going to fall down into the low 90s by Thursday and highs in the 80s. That is just gorgeous. I mean, especially after all of these really hot and humid days. But check this out. This is our days above 95 degrees, at or above, I should say, so far this year. So 21 beats the last 5 years we've had. and we're starting to get closer to that 2019 number. That was also one of the hotter years we've had. So we'll likely add a few more days until we start to cool down, and then we'll see what the pattern holds for the rest of the month. But for now, the next 6 to 10 days, believe it or not, trending cooler for a pretty good chunk of the country. Those blues are a sight for sore eyes. We are happy to see that. We have a pretty good shot at below normal temperatures, and keep in mind our average high right around 90, 91 this time of the year. So below normal would typically be right around the 80s here across the Tennessee Valley, which is definitely something that we could get used to. As we take a look at your futurecast, there is going to be the chance of pop-up showers and storms, first developing along the Cumberland Plateau and in some of the higher elevations in western North Carolina, and then drifting into the valley. Now, the coverage is not going to be incredibly high today, but you could get some heavy downpours with some gusty winds. Not expecting any severe weather. And then overnight, as we lose that daytime heating, the storm chances fade, and then we're going to do it all over again on Tuesday. Notice how those showers and storms really start to explode going into the afternoon and evening, and then kind of fade out as we get into the latter half of the day. And that's going to be the pattern over the next couple of days. And then moving into the middle of the week, a better chance of some scattered showers. We're going to have this front coming in from the north. That'll give us that scattered rain throughout the day on Thursday as well. And then the front drops to the south. That could push the rain chances away.
Squire. The weather is getting warmer, summer in sight, and the Town Squire is ready. The Town Squire, your complete men's store. With Peter Millar, Volunteer Tradition, Southern Tide, and more great brands now in stock. With walk shorts, swim trunks, short sleeve sport shirts, and more. At the Town Squire. For over 46 years, Stewart Park Plaza, Keith Street in Cleveland. All right, coming up in just a moment, going to talk with U.S. Congressman Tim Burchett. In just a second, quick check of sports. Braves beat the Padres in San Diego. You heard that here, 6-3 last night. Carlos Alcaraz defeated Novak Djokovic. Alcaraz has won his second straight Wimbledon. Yesterday, Alcaraz, the new phenom, obviously in tennis. Major League Baseball Home Run Derby is tonight, 8 o'clock on We'll have it on the radio on our news station, ESPN Cleveland, 101.3 FM. And Ryan Blaney won the NASCAR race at Pocono on Sunday, 7:32. Good morning, everyone. And we begin now our special coverage this morning. Going to be joined by a lot of elected officials and also some formerly in the United States Secret Service from this area. But we begin this morning with Congressman Tim Burchett. Good morning, Congressman. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, thanks for doing this. Let me ask you, are you in Milwaukee or are you going?
Yeah, I'm going. I'm not there yet. No, I'm actually in Knoxville today.
Okay. Well, Congressman, just to begin with here, let me just get your initial thoughts on the assassination attempt of the former president on Saturday.
Well, shock and dismay, disbelief. I've, as everybody else, I've seen all the video footage and heard all the talk and banter about it. I guess the main thing I'm concerned about now is how someone could get within that amount of distance with a rifle, actually climbed up on a roof, it looks like, with a ladder, and law enforcement, no one knew, and then there was a real disconnect, I think, and we're not sure what the rules of engagement were. We've got a real problem in the fact that I feel like our Secret Service, the head of Secret Service, is basically a DEI hire. She had worked at Secret Service, but she'd been on, I believe, Vice President Cheney's detail for quite some time, and then left and went and worked for PepsiCo, and Biden brought her back. There's a lot of problems there, and she, and her not addressing the country or making some statement, to me, shows we've got a real problem, and she does not understand the job that she has. And with all of the ins and outs of it, we've got congressmen that we had 9 Democrats call for President Trump's detail to be eliminated prior to this, and you've got Bobby Kennedy or whatever his name is out there without Biden would not even give him the same Secret Service protection his own dirtbag son had. So there is a whole lot of questions that need to be answered. I've called for a hearing. I wanted to have it today, but everybody's at the convention, and so I think we're going to have a hearing first thing next Monday morning, I believe the 22nd. So I guess that's all my thoughts at this time.
Yes, Congressman Tim Burchett joins us. I believe yesterday on Fox News you called for the director, Kimberly Cheadle, to step down, the Secret Service director. Is that correct?
That is accurate. That is correct. I think it's complete failure on their part, and I just don't. This presidency is. It's sort of like when you're the student government president at your junior high, and you go talk to your principal about things that you want, and and he basically says, "Yeah, we'll look into it." And that's sort of what that's sort of the way this president acts towards Congress. They don't respond, and frankly, we don't have the guts to do something about it. We always threaten to cut funding on things, and we never do. At some point, we've got to establish our guts in this whole manner, and this is exactly one of those that we need to get ahead of, because this thing is, I worry completely about our country. I've said many times, they're going to take us without a shot, and now they've fired a shot, and we need to respond appropriately.
We're joined by Congressman Tim Burchett. I read this morning former President Trump on his plane going to Milwaukee, where he landed yesterday afternoon. He told an interviewer that he has rewritten his speech, that he's not going, I guess, to be as the way he has been heretofore, but that he is going to call on more unity and to try and somewhat unify the country. Then people are saying, my goodness, someone who's shot, it has to change someone at some level. What do you make of that as far as the president and his address to the convention?
I think the president understands what room he's in and who he's speaking to. He had enough forethought to stand up on the stage after being shot to yell, "Fight, fight, fight." And of course, ABC News was immediately critical of him and said that was the problem, and forgetting that he'd been vilified for years. I mean, the court cases, the crazy lawsuits, all these things that they've done to him. And I think it shows a lot of composure. I think he understands the need in this country for unity. We need to unify, and we need to unify behind him, because he is our last chance, really. If we blow this opportunity, we could effectively lose our country. I mean, $35 trillion in debt, another $1 trillion in debt every 100 days. We have no plan to pay it back or stop our reckless spending. We have no border. Our big cities are cesspools, and people are scared, frankly, and they should be. They should be. We've allowed this to happen, and we need to. 20 million so-called evangelical Christians decided to stay home on the last election, and that's how we ended up with Joe Biden in the White House. So I would hope that his message would be unifying, and that we could rally around him and the cause of conservatism.
We're joined by Congressman Tim Burchett, and you mentioned President Biden, and look, right before this happened on Saturday, the last since the debate on June 27th, the talk was that so many Democrats wanted Joe Biden to step aside. Take me into the chamber there, the House, in the House, in the House of Representatives in Congress. What you were hearing from your Democratic colleagues leading up to now this, which of course that talk has been silenced, at least for now.
Yeah, they were 100% in survival mode. They were trying to think who could be the best person to do that, you know. And I thought, oddly enough, no representatives, you heard zero, come out and say that they would like to run because they realize that they voted 100% in lockstep with his failed policies. Ever since Pelosi's been in power, they voted every time, and they knew they couldn't. They knew it was a failed thing, and but it's in politics. It's just about survival, and it's not about what's best for the country or best for your people or whatever back home in your district. It is about pure survival, and they were in a panic state because Joe Biden had. Everybody knew. Everybody in Washington knew what kind of shape he was in. The press knew. They were all in on it, and you know, and at the debate just showed it. And I think that they are right now. They're just resolved just to lose the White House and hopefully take back the House and possibly take the Senate. But the polling I've seen, the latest data show that they're in doubt of winning anything, which would be great for the country. But I always remind folks, when Bill Clinton was elected, we thought when it came out that he had evaded the draft and gone to England during the Vietnam War, that we thought, oh, we got him now, and then we ended up electing him. And if I remember correctly, he won Tennessee as well. So I would caution people to not be measuring any drapes in the House, the Senate, or the White House. But the Democrats are in a panic mode right now.
Yeah, don't measure the drapes. We're joined by final question, Congressman Tim Burchett. Where do we go from here? Just as a nation, as a country, this obviously harkens back to so many assassination attempts in our history. Sadly, nothing like this as we watch the coverage over the weekend since 1981 with President Reagan. But where do we go from here as a nation, Congressman?
I hope we get off our butts and vote is what I hope. You know, here I live in Knoxville, Tennessee, and we're lucky if 15% of the population or the eligible voters vote. I would hope people would say, hey, enough is enough. I'm going to get involved. I'm going to vote in the school board. I'm going to get involved in the county commission, the state reps, the state senators, our mayors, our county court clerks, everything. And I hope they don't just say, well, we're going to vote for president and that's it. And, you know, this is another one of those pivotal moments in history where we can either flounder or we can do something about it. I said God had his hand on this country and we got to quit slapping it away, and we better realize the path that we're headed, because if we don't, we will be a third world country.
Congressman Tim Burchett of Knoxville. Congressman, I really appreciate your time this morning, sir.
Always. Thank you, brother. Thank you all for having me on.
Thank you, sir. Congressman Tim Burchett there with his thoughts. Coming up, Bradley County Mayor Gary Davis with the local angle on all of this. You are listening to Mix 104.1, watching MixTV.tv. Coming up, former U.S. Secret Service agent Tim Gobble. He's also former Bradley County Sheriff, with his extremely unique perspective on all of this, especially the subject of the Secret Service. Also coming up, Congressman Chuck Fleischmann will have Senator Bill Hagerty. Also coming up this morning, live from Milwaukee. A very busy morning here. Back in a moment.
At Wholesale Supply, we're more than just a plumbing.
Love supporting local? Then you'll love shopping with Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cleveland, your hometown dealer. We're happy to be part of this community and proud to serve you with a better way to buy and service. Plus, during the It's a Season sales event, you can drive a new Ram 1500 for 1.9% financing, and we'll deliver yours to your door. Visit your hometown dealer today. Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cleveland, the better way to buy and service.
Attention shoppers, don't forget to ask our certified butchers for great recipe tips.
This is an authentic butcher shop, where meat is hand-cut in-store, beef is ground fresh daily, and expert advice from a certified butcher is always free of charge.
Free advice? That's what I call value. The quality I crave, the value I count on.
Nobody does food like Food City.
Thank you for calling Logan Thompson. This is Ashley.
Morning, happy Monday.
And to you as well. Hey, give us the very latest here. What's up?
Hey, markets were up on Friday. The Dow closed above 40,000 again. I don't think it's an all-time high, but markets futures are up this morning, so maybe we'll get there today. The Dow closed up 247 on Friday to close at 40,001 points. The S&P up 30 to close at 5,615, and the Nasdaq up 115 on Friday to close at 18,398. So great in the markets on Friday. Back to you guys in the studio. I know it's a busy day this morning.
It is. Our friend Bobby Ludwig, your Edward Jones financial advisor. Bobby, how can people reach out to you, buddy?
Give us a call for all your investment, retirement, and life insurance needs, 473-2215. Again, that's 473-2215. Or stop by and see me at 2060 North Dakota, right by the old Liner gas station.
All right. Thank you, Bobby. We're joined now by the mayor of Bradley County, Mayor Gary Davis. Good morning, Mayor. How are you?
Good morning, Steve. Doing great.
Hey, thanks for coming in. We're hearing a lot about the national perspective, obviously, but right here locally, I mean, look, it was just a few years ago that Vice President Mike Pence came to Cleveland. We have hosted major political events over the years, and national, state, obviously local. What is your thoughts on what happened Saturday?
Well, you go back to Saturday. I had just come in from outside in the heat, thought I'd cool off a few minutes and watch the rally, and was really amazed at the number of people that had sat there or stood there all day waiting to see who they hoped to be their next president. And then 3 or 4 minutes into the speech, I guess you would say, those shots fired out. I sat there in shock. I will remember when President Reagan got shot, and I remember Robert Kennedy and some others that were shot over the years. You don't know what's on people's mind, and you bring it to a local perspective. I often wish we were a battleground so we'd get more of those visits, but at the same time, I'm glad we're not. Because there's always someone out there on the edge, as I often say. They're on the edge, waiting to fall over the edge, or waiting to be pushed over the edge, or sometimes I think to jump over the edge. And when you look at Butler, Pennsylvania, it's, from what I've been told and what I've heard about it, it's a lot like Cleveland and Bradley County. Their population's a couple 100,000 near Pittsburgh. We're 120,000 near Chattanooga, fairly rural area. They were on a site where cattle shows and horse shows and things go on, sort of like Tri-State here in Bradley County. I was thinking about all that, and I said that could very well have been here in Cleveland and Bradley County. And I think when the election comes in November, Bradley County will overwhelmingly support Trump as the next president, but there are people here that don't agree with that. And now you're hearing a lot of talk about bringing the temperature down. The temperature's gotten pretty hot in the rhetoric for presidential election, but it's not just nationally, it's locally too. We have issues from time to time where it gets pretty heated right here in our own community. Cleveland and Bradley County is a wonderful place, the most wonderful people in the world, I often say, but again, it only takes one. And there are so many people. I mean, you pull up to a red light, and if you happen to have done something that the other guy didn't like, he'll roll down his window and tell you about it real quick. It's amazing how people are just right there, just ready to go over that edge. So I've thought a lot about it over the weekend. I'm so thankful and prayerful that God was with Trump on that occasion. Our prayers go out for the family of the victim that was killed, and the two that they're in the hospital still. But so thankful that either Trump turned his head just right, or the wind blew just right, or whatever it was, but that it didn't get him. But that reminds me, what we need to do more of, in my opinion, is prayer. And right here in Cleveland and Bradley County, the Church of God capital of the world, we often hear that we have a church on every corner, and we do, but we can't pray enough. We need to pray as individuals. We need to pray as a church. We need to pray as a community. Friday we had a community service on the prayer service on the courthouse plaza. It's when the community came together to pray for our country and pray for our community. We need to do more of that. So it could have very easily have been here, and I just want to encourage everyone, as individuals, as a community, we need to pray for our community and for our country and do everything we can to keep that temperature down and not let it get up, knowing that there are people out there just waiting and looking for an excuse sometimes.
We're joined by Bradley County Mayor Gary Davis. I couldn't agree more, and I tell you, it's interesting, as I was reading this morning, and just speaking with Congressman Tim Burchett a second ago, former Knox County Mayor. I know you know Tim. And that is, look, the former President Trump is apparently, he said he's rewriting his speech. I don't think someone can get shot without, at some level, being a changed person, I would think.
Yeah, you can only imagine.
Coming that close to death.
Come that close, knowing a bullet just went right by your brain and didn't hit you. He's got a lot to be thankful for. I can only imagine what's been going through his mind for the last couple of days. But to see him get up like that and put the fist in the air and say, fight, 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 that tells you a lot about the man. Now, I know there are people right here in our community that don't support him, and I understand that. But we need to encourage people to, when we have differences, leaders, we have to make decisions, hundreds of them daily, and you're not going to agree with all of them. You may not agree with Trump, but we need to discuss those issues, debate those issues, maybe even argue those issues, but it needs to stop there. And so anything we can do to bring that temperature down, I'm sure Trump's going to do that this week. I can only hope that they will do that in August at their convention. I'm afraid by then it'll be back heated again. That's no excuse, don't get me wrong, but that and praying about it is what we need to be doing.
We've got a lot of, we're joined by Bradley County Mayor Gary Davis. We've got a lot of local people in Milwaukee this week, a lot of people from Tennessee, obviously, the delegation, but a lot of people from Cleveland and Bradley County up there. It is going to be a very busy week through Thursday.
That's right. I wish I was there in a way I'm glad I'm not. I love it right here in Cleveland and Bradley County myself, but at the same time, I would love to be there following politics. It's a lot of fun when it's not you involved. When it is you, it's not quite as much fun. But I just want to say I appreciate being able to serve the people of Cleveland and Bradley County. And again, encourage everyone to pray that God continue to bless not only our country, but that God continue to bless Cleveland and Bradley County.
Yeah. Mayor, Bradley County Mayor Gary Davis. Mayor, thank you very much for coming by. I appreciate it.
Thank you for allowing me to. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. By the way, editor's note, we did invite Cleveland Mayor Kevin Brooks. The mayor is on the road this morning, but promises to get back with us very soon. All right, so I tell you what, Bridget, let's get an update now. Our Simmons Bank celebration list at 8 before 8.
Julia Scoggins today, owner of J&S Restaurants and Hardee's here locally. Also, Edie Payne is having a birthday today. That is from her grandparents. Rudy Felton and Judy Payne, they are twins, celebrating their 75th birthdays today.
Rudy and Judy.
Yes.
Known them for years.
Also, John Goodwin celebrating a birthday today from his wife, Michelle. Eddie and Michelle Garland, they are celebrating their 33rd wedding anniversary today. They tell us they are high school sweethearts. Justin Gregory is celebrating today. He's a special ed teacher at Walker Valley. Sky Williams is 16 today. That is from his family, Mom, Dad, Leo, River, and Gaga. And then Karen Miller is having a birthday today. That is from her husband. Calling your birthdays and wedding anniversaries to us. We'll take those on the Volunteer Ridipest Mix line, 614-6499. You can also text us at that same number on the Cleveland State Cougar line. Go to our website, mymix1041.com, or download our free Mix 1041 app. It's the Simmons Bank celebration list. Simmons Bank works hard to help make their customers' dreams come true. Call Jamie Kyle, 423-381-3429.
All right, good morning, 7 before 8. You are listening and watching a special edition of Mix Mornings. We are focusing on the aftermath of the attempted assassination of former president, presumptive Republican nominee Donald Trump in Pennsylvania this past Saturday evening. Coming up, for a former United States Secret Service agent, and he's also former Bradley County Sheriff Tim Gobble will join us by phone coming up here in just a few minutes. He has an extremely unique sense of an event like was held in Butler, Pennsylvania on Saturday. In his many years with the United States Secret Service, he was one of our first calls over the weekend in preparing for this broadcast this morning. And so we're going to be joined by Tim coming up about 8:15 or so. It is 5 before 8. We do have full Fox, World, and National, local, and state news upcoming.
Building a new home or commercial space? Ensure it's wrapped in comfort and efficiency from the start.
You get a yearly checkup. Shouldn't your air? With your local Lennox dealer, regular care equals perfect air. With technology you can touch, comfortable air you can feel, and savings you can see. Not just perfect air, perfect for you air.
Call Dale's Heating and Air to upgrade your air today.
Lennox, air is life. Make it perfect.
Sun is shining, it's a beautiful day. Wake up, sleepyhead, get up and play. Everything's yellow, it's a beautiful sight. Sunbeam showers makes everything right. Come on now, let's get away.
Make every day brighter with the sunny southern goodness of Mayfield Dairy.
Dad, no matter how hard you try, that's not going to fit.
I got a great deal on this, and it was like 90% off.
Yeah, but a deal isn't a deal if it doesn't fit.
Great point. Kind of like a mattress. If it isn't the right fit, then it doesn't matter how cheap it is.
So how do people know what the right fit is?
That's a good question, but we've got a solution. It's called Mermaid Fit, and it only takes a few minutes to match you to the best bed for you.
Go to mermaidfit.com to find your perfect fit today. Dad.
This month, it's all about you at Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland with our You Pick event. Choose a brand new Nissan Sentra, Versa, or Kicks with no money down and just $275 a month. That's right, no money down and only $275 a month. At Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland, it's all about what you want. Visit us today at cleveland-nissan.com. Come see us at Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland and drive home in your dream car.
Thank you, Cleveland and Bradley County, for supporting Vendor Realty for the last 55 years. More than ever, we are ready and prepared to help our community be home. The real estate market is changing and evolving, and the Vendor Realty family is ready to help navigate today's market by providing professional, knowledgeable, and resourceful advisors to help your dream of calling someplace home. For all things real estate, be home with Vendor Realty, 425 25th Street, 423-472-2173, vendor-realty.com.
When the classic flavors of bacon, lettuce, and tomato meet the classic goodness of Hardee's Frisco lineup, you get instant summer favorites. Introducing Hardee's Frisco BLT Angus Burger and Frisco BLT Hand-Breaded Chicken Sandwich.
Imagine a truck that doesn't just own the road, it dominates it. It's not just about the destination, it's about the journey. And our new GMC Sierra is elevating every moment of that journey for me. It's not just a truck, it's a lifestyle. Don Ledford didn't just sell me a truck. They saw the lifestyle I wanted, and they found me that truck.
(614-6499). You can also text us at that same number on the Cleveland State Cougar line. We'll check your Mermaid Mattress Weather Center forecast coming up.
This traffic report is brought to you by L&B Appliance, your one-stop appliance shop. Locally owned and operated, Durkee Road at Highway 64 in Cleveland. 423-339-3231. This traffic report is brought to you by
You'll save a heap of money with a smarter mortgage from
20 years later, we've grown in many ways, but never out of that same customer-first heart to serve.
Doing the right thing simply because it's right will earn your business the right way every day, every year, offering permanent steel roofing and siding at competitive prices, keeping promises, staying on time for both deliveries and pickups, making things right when we come up short. Partners like you are the reason Best Buy Metals exists.
Thank you for the opportunity to serve youth.
Come see us!
I told my son to find me the nicest place to live in Cleveland. He said, Dad, there's only one place, and that's Garden Plaza. And I moved into the patio home. Everybody knows your name from day one, and there's something to do all day long if you want to participate in it. You cannot possibly be bored at Garden Plaza. It is just great, and their food is outstanding. It's out of this world. And I'm so happy I'm here. Garden Plaza is it for me.
I love the Cleveland community because I think it's a very warm place to live. It's just a very friendly community, and you don't necessarily have to be born here to fit in. There's a lot of folks that move here and they fall in love with it. I feel like we make our customers feel valued by the way we treat them. We're very welcoming here. We get to know them. We learn their names. We learn their goals, and we try to meet all their financial needs, not just do one transaction with them.
Your new mattress being made. Come by from the Tennessee Valley's only truly factory direct mattress company, Mermaid Mattress.
For today, partly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. A high of 94 and a low of 73 this evening. For tomorrow, partly cloudy, and then we'll have afternoon showers and thunderstorms. A 40% chance. A high of 94 and a low of 73 tomorrow evening. And then on Wednesday, isolated thunderstorms during the morning, and then more storms likely throughout the afternoon with a high of 92. Your current Milligan Vane temperature is 76 degrees. And looking at the Central Heat and Air Weather Radar this morning, things are looking great out there. This weather forecast is brought to you by the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry, Dr. Ken Beard, Dr. Brian Beard, and Dr. Baylor Terrell. Call them at 423-476-6541 or visit them online at centerforcosmeticdentistry.com.
Broadcasting from the Kia of Cleveland studios. This is your home for the best mix, the best variety, and all the important information you need. Download the Mix 1041 app at mymix1041.com.
The top of the hour is presented by Best Buy Metals, making sure the top of your house is the best it can be. BestBuyMetalRoofing.com.
The best mix, the best variety. WCLE, Calhoun, Cleveland, Athens.
Fox News is next, presented by Capital Tire Service in downtown Cleveland.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. No word yet from the FBI on any possible motive for Saturday's assassination attempt on former President Trump.
Law enforcement sources are telling me the focus is now shifting to gaining access into the shooter's phone. I'm told that federal agents will not feel confident in their assessment that the shooter acted alone until they're able to go in that phone and see who he was communicating with.
Fox's CB Cotton. The former president's in Milwaukee for the Republican National Convention and says he's changing his speech to focus more on unity.
Trump is urging other event speakers to stick to their originally planned speeches and follow the convention's themes of the day. So today's theme is Make America Wealthy once again. Tomorrow is Make America Safe once again. Wednesday is Make America Strong once again. And Thursday is Make America Great once again.
Fox's Brooke Singman. America's listening to Fox News.
The Mix 1041 News Desk, brought to you by Logan Thompson Law, a tradition of legal and community service. That's Logan Thompson Law at LoganThompsonLaw.com. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome in local and state news. From the Logan Thompson Law News Desk, you're listening to Mix 1041, also MixTV.tv. This is a special broadcast this morning. We've invited several elected officials and analysts to come on this morning and talk about the attempted assassination attempt on the former President Trump in Pennsylvania on Saturday. We have more guests to come this hour. Let's pause, though, for local and state news. The Bradley County Building and Land Committee unanimously voted to recommend accepting the City of Cleveland's proposal to exchange the county's aging fire and rescue headquarters building on Edmond Street for a new fire garage on Menace Road. The decision follows nearly a year of negotiations and addresses structural concerns with the current facility. The new metal fire garage will accommodate more equipment and improve operational efficiency for fire and rescue. Additionally, the committee discussed repurposing the old Waterville Elementary School property, potentially for fire training purposes, pending County Commission approval. The Bradley County, or I should say the Building and Lands Committee meeting, you can go back and watch that on mixtv.tv. The Bradley County Commission will meet tonight at 7. They'll be taking a vote on this and several other issues. That meeting will air live. You can watch it live, mixtv.tv, or go back and watch it on demand. The Bradley County Sheriff's Office, they say they've received several reports of a phone scam in Bradley County. The caller posing as a law enforcement. They say specifically current and former Sheriff's Office employees telling people there's a warrant out for their arrest in an attempt to get money from the intended victims. The Bradley County Sheriff's Office says they never, if there's ever a warrant for your arrest, you'll find out in person, never by a phone call. Do not give money in any form to someone who solicits it over the phone until you verify the caller's authenticity. If you're in doubt, call the Bradley County Sheriff's Office, 728-7311. Chattanoogan.com reports one person died, another hospitalized in serious condition following a two-vehicle crash on Liberty Hill Road on Evansville Mountain in Ray County Saturday afternoon. Highway Patrol, Ray County Sheriff's Department investigating the crash. Well, I want to take a moment of personal privilege right now. I've not been on the air since the death of my father, Dr. Steve Hartline, and I was off the air at that time. I want to thank this community. You know, I kid you a lot. I kid people that I like, and I like you a lot. You have been so good to me and my family, and I can't thank you enough. We receive literally hundreds, if not thousands, of all kinds of communication. My dad was 75. He was a dentist in Cleveland for over about 45 years. And listening to people talk about him and stories and that sort of thing has been a part of healing. And I thank you. You lose a parent, like I said in my note when it happened, it is a shock to the system. It really is. So many of you know about this. And I and my brother Jake, we're now a part of a very big club of people who've lost a parent. Some of you have lost both parents. I just want to say thank you. I've not been on the air since this happened with my dad. I will say my dad had been sick for quite a while. Been a hard couple of years. And I had the opportunity about a year ago to sit down with my dad and make sure that everything was right between him and the Lord. I'm very glad to say that my dad is in heaven this morning, free from all the pain and suffering that he had. So thank you very much. God bless you. I appreciate it. And I hope that my family and I can return the kindness to you when you need it and when something happens. God bless you today is my prayer. All right. It is 8:08 coming up. We have former Bradley County Sheriff, but really going to hone in on Tim Gobble's career and the United States Secret Service. He has a position, he has a unique vantage point on what happened Saturday and the attempted assassination of the former President Trump. He has an amazing vantage point. We're going to talk with Tim coming up here by phone, coming up in just a few minutes. Stand by for that. Mark Shepard, Shelter Insurance, 2334 Keith Street, Cleveland. Call 423-339-8777.
All right, good morning. Let's get a check of traffic here. This Don Ledford Cleveland Mixed Highway Patrol report is brought to you by Don Ledford in Cleveland. They are your exclusive home of Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC, located on North Lee Highway, and anytime at donledford.com. We have no reports of any accidents this morning. Things are still looking great out there. Drive safely. And as always, if you see a traffic problem, give us a call. The volunteer Rid of Hess Mix line is 614-6499. You can also text us at that same number on the Cleveland State Cougar line. This traffic report is brought to you by the Cleveland Family YMCA. You can have a splashing good time this summer at the Cleveland YMCA outdoor pool. At the Y, there are no contracts. The Cleveland Family YMCA, where summer memories are made. We'll check your Mermaid Mattress Weather Center forecast coming up. Do you need toilet paper? Sun Paper in Cleveland has a great selection. They also have paper.
Love supporting local? Then you'll love shopping with Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cleveland, your hometown dealer. We're happy to be part of this community and proud to serve you with a better way to buy and service. Plus, during the It's a Season sales event, you can drive a new Ram 1500 for 1.9% financing, and we'll deliver yours to your door. Visit your hometown dealer today. Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cleveland, the better way to buy and service.
Peyton Southeastern in Cleveland is hiring case selectors. Starting pay at $19 an hour. Earning potential up to $23 an hour plus incentive pay. Additional $2 an hour night shift premium. And you're eligible to earn a $3,000 stay bonus. Flexible schedules and great benefits at Peyton Southeastern in Cleveland. They have open interviews Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 9 to 11 a.m. and from 1 to 3 p.m. Apply online at jobs.kroger.com to work at Peyton Southeastern in Cleveland.
Sun is shining, it's a beautiful day. Wake up, sleepyhead, get up and play. Everything's yellow, it's a beautiful sight. Sunbeam showers makes everything right. Come on now, let's get away.
Make every day brighter with the sunny southern goodness of Mayfield Dairy.
Okay, pop quiz, hotshot. What's not royalty but comes in queen or king?
Dad, a mattress, duh.
Okay, you passed that one, but you better not fail the Mermaid Mattress Back to School test.
I did study for this one. Right now, we're paying your sales tax and we'll deliver your mattress for free.
You always were a good student.
Thanks, Dad, that's sweet. How about this for extra credit for the college kids? We've got dorm mattress toppers for only $99.
Top of the class, but it's only at Mermaid Mattress, Chattanooga's best of the best mattress store.
For like a million years now.
This month, it's all about you at Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland with our You Pick event. Choose a brand new Nissan Sentra, Versa, or Kicks with no money down and just $275 a month. That's right, no money down and only $275 a month. At Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland, it's all about what you want. Visit us today at cleveland-nissan.com. Come see us at Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland and drive home in your dream car.
Go inside the Mermaid Mattress Weather Center at 12 after 8.
Keep it local in all you do. Our local businesses need you now more than ever. And if you need a mattress, you know that Mermaid Mattress has been your local mattress factory since 1979.
All right, for today, partly cloudy skies. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible today. A high of 94 and a low of 73 this evening. For tomorrow, partly cloudy and then a 40% chance of afternoon showers or thunderstorms. A high of 94 and a low of 73. And then on Wednesday, isolated storms during the morning and then more thunderstorms for the afternoon likely as well with a high of 92. Your current Milligan Vane temperature is 77 degrees. This weather forecast.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
And taking a look at the Central Heat and Air weather radar, things are looking great out there.
Okay, glad we paused for that. Thank you. Good morning, Doc Garner and everybody.
This weather forecast is brought to you by Bradley Concrete and Lamcon Ready Mix, family-owned business serving Cleveland for over 40 years. Call them at 423-479-4541 or visit lamcon.us to find out more.
All right, coming up on 8:14, good morning to all of you here. Mix 104.1, mixtv.tv. We have a special broadcast this morning as we are focusing on what happened Saturday, the attempted assassination of former President Trump. And a man with a very unique vantage point on all of this is a former Secret Service agent himself. He's also former Bradley County Sheriff Tim Gobble. Good morning, Tim. How are you?
Good morning, Steve. How are you?
Buddy, I'm doing good, and you were one of my first thoughts when all of this happened, and especially with the concentration on how this happened. But before we begin, we got a lot of new people, Tim, obviously, in this area and in Cleveland and Bradley County. So remind everyone what about your career with the Secret Service.
Well, just briefly, I was fortunate to start my law enforcement career with the Cleveland City Police Department. After serving there for about a year, I was hired by the Secret Service after pretty extensive background investigation and trained by them and served the next 15 years of my career with the Secret Service. And then subsequent to that was served a time as the EMA Director of Bradley County and then Bradley County Sheriff, and I currently now serve on the parole board for the state of Tennessee.
All right, so Tim Gobble joins us. So tell me about who you worked as far as the Secret Service detail. Who were you guarding and protecting?
Oh, I came in under first President Bush and then protected at different times during my career Bush 1 and 2 and Clinton and their vice presidents. I served on Al Gore's vice presidential protection team in Washington for 4 years as regularly at the White House and the facilities in Washington during that time. So I have probably also participated in actually hundreds of events similar to what we saw Saturday with President Trump and been responsible at different times in my career for the setup of security for those type of events that are very common during presidential protection years or campaign years.
So we're joined by a former Secret Service agent, Tim Gobble. All right, so let's talk about Saturday. How does the Secret Service go about preparing not just for a campaign event like that, but an open-air campaign event such as it was?
Well, that makes it more difficult when you're not contained in a building or something. You have line-of-sight issues, obviously, that are major concern, and it's basic protection 101 is you want to make sure that line of sights are covered, that high ground, you have control of high ground around any type of venue that is outdoors. And that is a very common thing. And there's all kinds of issues that go into protection, but it begins with the notification from campaign staff and the staff of the president or vice president as to where the president's going to be at a particular time. And then advanced teams are sent out. Advanced agents, site advanced agents are sent out to prepare and to work with the local and state police to prepare for that event when it occurs. Sometimes you get more notice than others depending on, as you might imagine during the campaign year, sometimes these events are fluid. They want to go to places where they give the best optics for whatever the issues are of the day. And sometimes you don't get as much notice as you would like to have. But agents do a very good job overall of protecting the president, vice president, and candidates for the office.
Well, we're joined by Tim Gobble by phone. So the big question since all of this happened on Saturday evening is how did the shooter, Thomas Crooks, been identified now, how did he get within what's measured as 150 yards away from the former president without, how did that happen in your estimation?
That's the big question, Steve. There's two things here. If you look at once the attack actually started, I would just want to commend the agents, their response. It was textbook. They did a great job. You have to commend their courage and bravery, covering and evacuating the former president. You have to also commend the counter-assault team, the counter-sniper team, their reaction and the way that they conducted themselves and responded to the attack. It was just as they trained to do. And over through that training is serious. It is intense. They have mock-up cities outside Washington, D.C. and venues where they train for this type of thing, and they responded very well. Where the breakdown occurred, obviously, is somebody was able to get into a position where they had line of sight and were able to, with a weapon, and fire shots. it was no doubt a breakdown somewhere. And I'm sure during the initial walkthroughs and the initial setups that was looked at somewhere, and they had to have known that there's a building over there, and that if somebody could get on top of that building, they could see where the president is going to be. But there obviously was a breakdown. That will be the question for the investigation. I'm sure there'll be congressional hearings, and who was responsible for covering that. Ultimately, it's the Secret Service. It may have been assigned to some other agency or entity, but ultimately the Secret Service was responsible for it, and there was clearly a breakdown there.
We're joined by Tim Gobble, of course, a former Secret Service agent, also former sheriff of Bradley County. Tim, one of the interviews that really went viral over the weekend was done by the BBC, where they interviewed a man who said plainly, look, we told police that we saw what later became known as the shooter on top of the building, that we warned police, and not just the man. And as I say this, and we talk about this interview, a lot of people are now saying, "Oh yeah, I saw that," because hundreds of millions of people watched it online. However, other people said, "Look, we told police, we said they pointed up there at the man on top of the building." How? Tell me, and I know that's not necessarily a Secret Service thing if they're talking local police. How does that breakdown happen? I mean, was it just too quick? Was it a timing issue, do you think?
It's possible that it was, and you do have to understand that this particular building was outside of the main venue. The Secret Service does work in concentric circles around the president. You've got an inner perimeter, a middle perimeter, and an outer perimeter. This would have been considered in the outer perimeter, even though it was outside of the main venue there. It had to have been addressed at some level prior to. I can't imagine that they did not even look at that. But whatever was decided, they felt like it could be covered with the resources that they had available for this particular event. However, it's obvious that something was overlooked or there was a breakdown somewhere because this person was able to get up there and fire shots. Local police may have been nearby. People started warning, and there's always a command post set up where you have representatives of each agency there so that information can be relayed as quickly as possible. And I would say they were in the process of trying to check out who that was. And of course, the counter stoppers, it looked like they were trained on the guy, are starting to look at the attacker. If you look at the videos, and were in of fire, they may not have known or been able to tell exactly who that was or what they were doing. I have some hesitancy thinking it could be the local police there or some teenager just wanting to get a better look at what's going on.
Finally, Tim Gobble joins us. You talked about hearings. We had Congressman Tim Burchett on last hour from Knoxville. He said a hearing, and we had also read before, a hearing's been set about this in the U.S. Congress on Monday, next Monday. Obviously, there have been calls, including by Burchett on Fox News yesterday, for Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle to step down. Where does the Secret Service go from here, Tim, in your opinion?
Well, of course, there'll be an investigation. There'll be an independent investigation. The Secret Service won't investigate itself. There'll be congressional hearings, I know, but the Secret Service will do a self-assessment as well and do their own investigation. But you're going to have a lot of different entities involved in that, and there'll be, I'm sure, recommendations coming out. There'll be, we'll know what happened, where the breakdown was at some point, and steps will be taken to correct that. And whether it means more resources, additional resources for candidates for the office of president. I did hear Congressman Burchett's remarks. There's a committee set up to determine who receives and who doesn't receive presidential protection. There's congressional representatives on that committee, and just because somebody requests protection doesn't necessarily mean they will receive it. There's certain things that have to be met. They have to be posted. have to raise so much money and other things, and to be considered a major candidate, and it has to be within a certain time of the election to receive the protection. You can't just say I'm running for president and receive protection. There are certain guidelines in place for that. But obviously, a former president, a candidate for president, received a lot of protection. I mean, when you see the counter assault team, you see counter sniper teams and that level of protection. But again, there was a failure, and that cannot be glossed over.
Tim Gobble, Tim, really appreciate you joining us this morning. Your perspective is so unique based on your career with the Secret Service. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve. Good to talk with you.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day. Tim Gobble, ladies and gentlemen, with his very unique perspective. Coming up, going to be joined by Congressman Chuck Fleischmann live from the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. Up next.
Your home for...
Your time matters. And at Direct Primary Care Associates, we know that. Listen to Shawn as she explains how we've helped her.
Being a working mom, owning my own business and having children, Direct Primary Care is so much more convenient for me because I can just pick up my phone, shoot a message to my doctor, tell him what's going on, and he can give me an answer right then. If I need to go in, I know it's going to be a quick visit. I go in and then I'm out. I don't have time to drive to the doctor, sit for an hour in a waiting room, and then sit for even longer waiting on the doctor to come in while my child is destroying the office. So my time, I feel like, is worth as much as the doctor's time. And with Direct Primary Care, I'm treated that way.
If you'd like to learn more about Direct Primary Care Associates, visit our website at directpca.com or call 423-650-4831.
Did you know that drinking and driving is a leading cause of traffic fatalities? It kills more than 28 people in the United States every day. That means one person every 52 minutes. Statistically, young people are the most at risk to drink and drive, but not everyone's doing it. Don't drink and drive.
Hey, it's Josh with exciting news from Wholesale Supply. I want to introduce you to Piper's Picks, now available in our Chattanooga, Cleveland, and Dalton markets. Thanks to our partnership with Piper Strummett and our friends at Progress Lighting, Piper's Picks brings you the latest trends and styles in decorative lighting. Browse our curated selection in our showrooms and make lighting your project easier than ever. Visit Wholesale Supply today and discover Piper's Picks, where style meets innovation. To find out more information and a location near you, visit wholesalesupply.us for more.
You're watching Mix Mornings on Mix TV. Here is your current Kia of Cleveland time. And your current temperature in Cleveland is brought to you by Milligan Vane.
This news update is brought to you by Newlyweds Foods. Newlyweds Foods is hiring. Call them at 423-559-0909 or visit newlywedsfoods.jobs.net and search Cleveland Jobs.
Full news on our website at mymix1041.com. Also, don't forget, you can get news in your email in a very easily digestible email newsletter. Our Mix Morning Briefing every day. Sign up at mymix1041.com. Let's get a check of our Simmons Bank celebration list at 8:29.
Okay, happy birthday to Julia Scoggins today, owner of J&S Restaurants and Hardee's here locally. Edie Payne is having a birthday today. Rudy Felton and Judy Payne, they are twins celebrating their 75th birthdays today. John Goodwin is celebrating today from his wife, Michelle. Eddie and Michelle Garland, they are celebrating their 33rd wedding anniversary. They tell us they are high school sweethearts. Justin Gregory is having a birthday today. He's a special ed teacher at Walker Valley. Sky Williams is 16 today. That is from Mom, Dad, Leo, River, and Gaga. Karen Miller is having a birthday today. That is from her husband, Barry Ray at Legacy Senior Living, having a birthday today, and that was sent in by his staff. And then Chuck and Kathy Evans, they celebrated their 25th wedding anniversary yesterday. Call in your birthdays and wedding anniversaries to us. We'll take those on the volunteer Ritipest Mix line, 614-6499. You can also text us at that same number on the Cleveland State Cougar line. Go to our website, mymix1041.com, or download our free Mix 1041 app. It's the Simmons Bank celebration list. At Simmons Bank, they have the products and services to help make your dreams come true. Call Ken Do, 423-381-3427.
Squire has a great sale on suits and sport coats. Styles from Hart Shafter and Marks, Tommy Hilfiger, Michael Kors.
Cleveland Tire is ready to help your auto any way it can. We're one of the largest providers of Goodyear brand tires in the area. We sell all major brand tires. We have ASE certified mechanics on staff 6 days a week. We also have a commercial truck tire center that provides 24-hour roadside service and minor mechanical repairs on site. We have built our reputation on years of quality, affordable work and tires. We pride ourselves in customer satisfaction and great service. Cleveland Tire Center.
Going on today, we're going to pick up with our 104 Days of Summer prizes with Mike Lee this afternoon on the Mix Afternoon Drive, driven by Mountview Nissan of Cleveland. We continue our special broadcast this morning in the aftermath of the attempted assassination of former President Trump. We're joined live from Milwaukee, the site of the Republican National Convention, by Congressman Chuck Fleischmann. Congressman, good morning.
Steve, good morning, sir. I hope you're doing well in Bradley County, sir.
Well, we're doing great. Thank you very much. And I just want to begin by getting your thoughts on what happened to the former President Trump on Saturday.
Well, I saw the president last night go by in his motorcade. He is fine, thank God. But I'll tell you, Steve, I am still shaken from the events of this weekend. I remember, sadly but vividly, when President Reagan had an assassination attempt when I was in college, and that shook me then. This shook me equally as badly. Just to watch that, not knowing for a period of time how President Trump was, what the prognosis was, what happened. Fortunately, I was able to get a hold of folks in my world and get accurate information early enough so that we knew that President Trump was not only going to survive, but to make a good and full recovery. Sadly, other people there were killed, but really just a terrible day for America. It bothered me. As you know, I'm a victim of a political violence shooting from the baseball field in 2017. So, not a good weekend for me or for America. But I will say this, Steve, I got here yesterday in Milwaukee, beautiful city. The Tennessee delegation, your listeners are all going to be proud, is here in full force. A lot of beautiful orange and the enthusiasm that's here for not only President Trump, but for our country and for the great state of Tennessee is boundless. So it's bringing me back.
Joined by Congressman Chuck Fleischmann live from Milwaukee as the Republican National Convention begins today. I was going to mention that. Let's go back. 2017, you were practicing for the congressional baseball game. That is obviously the shooting that took place at that practice that struck Steve Scalise, now a majority leader of the House, and injured him almost killed him, obviously. Talk about that day, would you?
Well, as most of our listeners know, I've played baseball for 14 years now. It's fast-pitch baseball. We Republicans play the Democrats. It's a game that we raise about $2 million for charity. But we practice for months on end, and this was the day right before the big game, and it was at a field in Virginia. We now practice in Anacostia in Washington, D.C., but back then we did not have full security. The only reason we had any security is because Steve Scalise had his security detail there with 9mm, and this person basically just started opening up fire on all of us. I was in the dugout. Thank God I was not hurt or hit. But many of our folks were hurt. The Capitol Police were hurt. Obviously, Scalise was severely injured, but another good friend of mine who was one of our coaches, who was a lobbyist, had a bullet go right through his chest. Thank God he lived. But it was one of those days that just really stood out as a very, very sad day. This person showed up. He was killed, but he was there to hunt Republicans. So this was plain and simple political violence, like we saw the other day against former President Trump. But let's hope and pray we don't have more of these incidents in America. There's no place for violence in America. That's why I get so very upset with my Democratic colleagues that always want to attack guns. It's not guns, it's that evil will. If it's a fist, a knife, a bomb, political violence is wrong in any context, needs to be condemned. We saw the ill effects of that in 2017. We saw the ill effects of that this weekend. Again, an innocent man from Pennsylvania is dead now. His family is devastated. There's 2 more people who are critically injured. But we've got to get to a better place where we have civil discourse and not violent discourse in America.
We're joined by Congressman Chuck Fleischmann. He is in Milwaukee getting ready for the Republican National Convention, which begins later today. I want to go back. This is a special edition of our morning program here, Congressman. Last hour, we had your colleague, Tim Burchett, on. He was on Fox News yesterday, called for the director of the Secret Service, Kimberly Cheadle, to step down. There will be congressional hearings, I believe, will begin next Monday about what happened. The big question, obviously, coming out of the weekend, how did the shooter get so close to the former president on Saturday in Butler, Pennsylvania? What are your questions? What do you make of the question of especially the Secret Service?
Well, it's a great question. I was with the Speaker of the House last night at dinner. Our presiding whip, Tom Emmer. I was with Kevin McCarthy, with several officials from the RNC. Brent and I had dinner with them. There are going to be multiple, rest assured, multiple, not only inquiries, but investigations. Steve, you alluded to the shooting that I went through in 2017. The FBI did a thorough investigation, even though the suspect was dead. And he was killed at the site. That happened this time. We will see immediate, not long awaited. We will see immediate next week oversight, Homeland Security, all levels of congressional inquiry to get to the bottom of this. You probably are aware, when I was the ranking member on Homeland Security Appropriations, I funded the Secret Service, so I got to know that organization exceedingly well. These are fine men and women who put their lives on the line every day, but there's no question that mistakes were made in Butler, Pennsylvania, with very devastating consequences. So we're going to get to the bottom of this for the American people, and I think more importantly, put things in place so that this does not happen again.
Joined by Congressman Chuck Fleischmann live from Milwaukee, is reading this morning. that the president, the former president, Donald Trump, he told an interviewer he is changing his address. He is going to be calling for unity. Of course, President Biden last night in a national address from the Oval Office calling for people to turn the temperature down. Number one, what are you expecting from the convention this week? Number two, is that possible in the time in which we live for the so-called temperature to be turned down?
Two excellent questions. First of all, I'll answer the second one first. We are all passionate about our beliefs. I am so privileged, Steve, to represent the great people of the 3rd District of Tennessee, East Tennessee, good conservative values, God, country, patriotism, and the like. Not everyone in America, sadly, not everyone in the 3rd District thinks that way. So I've always tried to be more civil in my discourse with people and to work to a place where they would understand that I'm representing the vast majority of my constituents when I vote pro-God, pro-gun, pro-country, and Republican. But the reality is the discourse has gotten high. Just a few months ago, I was verbally, if you will, attacked by pro-Hamas, pro-Palestinian people who said terrible things about our Jewish friends, and I didn't take it. It upset me, and I verbally let them have it back. And it's a time where tempers are high, passions are high, but I think the focus needs to be on our great constitutional republic. We have a great First Amendment that we need to protect, but that means peaceful speech. And President Trump is going to be coming. This is what I expect in your other question. President Trump came early. He was originally going to be here Thursday. He changed his plans to come here last night, so he's going to be here on the ground. I think you're going to see a couple of great themes. First of all, Tennessee strong. I could not be more proud of Marcia and Bill and my other members who've joined me, our Tennessee delegates, our Tennessee members who are here. We're staying at a hotel outside of the perimeter. I'll be going in there because I'll be doing a tremendous amount of media. So today and throughout the week, but you're going to see unity. You're going to see a strong conservative agenda to change the direction. I mean, without being unduly adversarial, I think the Democrats have been just destroying our country with their radical left-wing ideas. And when you say that, that doesn't mean you're being disrespectful. We're standing up for our conservative values, and I think we can do that in a way that Ronald Reagan did, that my friend Mike Huckabee does, in a very cordial, strong manner, but in a very respectful manner. And I think we'll attract more people by being positive than being negative.
All right, final question. We're joined by Congressman Chuck Fleischmann. There is an anticipation that the vice presidential running mate could be announced tonight. I'm putting you on the clock here, Chuck. Who's getting
the
it?
Spot. Wow.
Who's getting it?
Okay. Well, now this is going to be a pure guess. So you know, Donald Trump has not told me. I was with the head of the RNC last night. I was with the Speaker of the House. Nobody has said anything to me, so I don't. If I had information,
You're really qualifying
I would share it with my folks. So I'm gonna take a guess. I'm gonna take a guess, but it's a pure guess that it might be Burgum, the governor, and that is just a pure guess. Any of the four that they have narrowed it down to would be great. I know them all. I do know some better than others. Obviously, I've served with these people because I've been in the House 14 years, so I've got a wide array of friends. But whomever it is, we're going to have lunch with them this week, and I will make sure that I put up great Tennessee values and let them know that the people of East Tennessee are ready to stand with them.
Okay, I'm going to make a prediction. So you've got Burgum. I'm going with Mr. Hillbilly Elegy himself, J.D. Vance. I think he'll get it. But look,
interesting.
We can't make a bet,
there's a
can
lot
we?
of buzz. There's a lot of buzz for him here. You could be right. Again, I have no inside information, and they're keeping it very close. But I
Chuck,
think
is it
we'll
you?
get that pick tonight.
Is it you? Now I'm beginning to wonder. Is it you?
No, I tell you what, it's not me. But I will tell you this: there's somebody who's near and dear to me. Is Bill Haggerty, who I think is one of the greatest statesmen that our state has had in a long time.
Oh.
He's sharp. He's articulate. He's tall, handsome fella. He is here working it hard. I predict, this is me talking, not my buddy Haggerty. I predict that Haggerty will be on a ticket within a decade. He's just that good.
Oh.
But no,
Hey,
it won't be anybody from Tennessee, right?
Haggerty's coming on here with me in about a half hour, so I'm gonna put it to him. I'm gonna ask him. Hey, Chuck Fleischmann, thank you so much, Congressman. I know you're very busy there in Milwaukee. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Best to everybody. God bless you all.
Thank
Bye.
you, sir, and you. So he's going Burgum. Hey, you know what? That's a good text question. So tell us who you think's going to be the Republican vice presidential pick. And I got a couple of predictions. Number one, do you have any thought on that?
I kind of think it may be J.D. Vance as well.
I just say Vance. I mean, he's got and I don't know who he meant by four because I've read three. I've read Governor Burgum of South Dakota, who, by the way, he may be bright, but he's got the personality of the wall behind me, and much like you, and you've lasted here this long. I've heard Marco Rubio, who a lot of Cleveland people know him, and I've heard now J.D. Vance. Hey, Fruit Loops, do you have a thought on this? A prediction? Who's the fourth? Who's the fourth person? Fleischmann said four. I don't know who the fourth is.
No, I'm going to say J.D. Vance.
Are you just saying it because I said it?
No, that's who I think is going to be.
So, but then Fleischmann brings in
Tim Scott is the other one.
I love Tim Scott. Good Lord, he's unbelievably great. But Burgum, I mean, that's a weak pick for Fleischmann. There's nothing against him. I'm just saying he doesn't have a personality. He's maybe a wonderful man. He probably is. But he's got the personality of this desk. Right there. Hello, Governor. Okay.
But yeah, that is a good question
That ain't gonna be him.
Our listening audience.
All right, Burchett, how do they reach out and touch someone?
Yes, so call or text 614-6499. Again, 614-6499. Call us on the Volunteer Ridipest Mix line or text us on the Cleveland State Cougar line.
There's no prize attached to this. You people aren't getting anything. You've got enough. Okay? You've got enough. We ain't giving anything away. We're just, and quite frankly, I don't care what you think, but Bridget wants to know. So anyway.
Yeah.
All right, let's tell you what. We'll be back in a second here.
Watch over your money so you've got more to share. Use the Your Money app from TV.
Attention shoppers, don't forget to ask our certified butchers for great recipe tips.
This is an authentic butcher shop where meat is hand-cut in-store, beef is ground fresh daily, and expert advice from a certified butcher is always free of charge.
Free advice? That's what I call value. The quality I crave, the value I count on.
Nobody does food like Food City.
Our legal system is complex, and your case may impact several areas of the law. Don't just hire a lawyer who focuses on one thing. Hire a team of experienced attorneys ready to handle your case wherever it may lead. Call Logan Thompson, one of the area's most respected law firms. From personal injury to criminal and family law, from contract disputes to disability, the team at Logan Thompson will work together to ensure you are well represented and well compensated. Logan Thompson, we fight to win.
My dad says our new Linux system saves energy.
Well, saving energy means saving money.
A lot of money?
Yep.
Time for a raise in my allowance.
savings year after year.
A big raise.
Call today for perfect air you can feel in your home and savings you can feel in your wallet.
Lennox, air is life. Make it perfect.
Call Dale's Heating and Air today.
Everyone there at the Porsche dealership are so personable and very knowledgeable that we just keep coming back. What I was looking for was a sport utility that was sporty and attractive and had the ability to perform to my expectations. The service department goes above and beyond with their routine service maintenance, and they get me out of there quickly. Chattanooga Auto Square. Luxury lives here.
Why now come to Best Buy Metals?
For 20 years, Best Buy Metals has provided permanent steel roofing. Additionally, we've expanded to manufacture metal siding, including steel, board and batten, and traditional lap siding. We also offer custom pole barns, from a simple roof-only structure to a fully enclosed building. Stop by one of our 7 showrooms today or visit us online 24/7 at bestbuymetalroof.com.
This Medical Minute is brought to you by the Vascular Institute. Vascular Institute and Vein Clinic are your trusted vein health and wellness partners. This April, take the first step toward healthier legs with the latest cutting-edge varicose vein procedures, such as radiofrequency ablation, Varithena, and VenaSeal. Looking to eliminate those tiny spider veins? The Vascular team can help you achieve desired outcomes and see a reduction in the small red, blue, and purple vessels. At VIC, board-certified vascular surgeons are experts in the latest minimally invasive treatments with a combined experience of over 50 years. Most procedures are quick, virtually painless, and require little to no downtime. Call Vascular Institute and Vein Clinic, your regional leaders in vascular care, at 423-602-2750. VIC is the only vascular practice that welcomes self-referrals and offers timely appointments. They are accepting new patients. VascularInstituteofChattanooga.com.
Sun is shining, it's a beautiful day. Wake up, sleepyhead, get up and play. Everything's yellow, it's a beautiful sight. Sunbeam showers makes everything bright. Come on now, let's get away.
Make every day brighter with the sunny southern goodness of Mayfield Dairy.
Dad, no matter how hard you try, that's not going to fit.
I got a great deal on this, and it was like 90% off.
Yeah, but a deal isn't a deal if it doesn't fit.
Great point. Kind of like a mattress. If it isn't the right fit, then it doesn't matter how cheap it is.
So how do people know what the right fit is?
That's a good question, but we've got a solution. It's called Mermaid Fit, and it only takes a few minutes to match you to the best bed for you.
Go to mermaidfit.com to find your perfect fit today. Dad.
TV.TV special edition of Mixed Mornings this morning, focusing on the aftermath of the attempted assassination of former President Trump in Pennsylvania on Saturday. We have one more guest to go on our special broadcast, Senator Bill Hagerty, live from Milwaukee. And the senator will join us here in about 30 minutes. So we have talked to a lot of people over the weekend, and we appreciate those coming on. If you're just joining us this morning, we have been at this for a couple of hours. You can go back on mixtv.tv and watch the interviews. We've had some fascinating perspectives this morning, and appreciate you tuning in. All right, let's get a final Mixed Mornings check of our Simmons Bank celebration list. And by the way, did you see the new building, Simmons Bank, coming along? I know you've been out of town, but
I did see that.
The building coming along over there. Yeah. They got the sign up.
Looks great.
Ken Do, all excited, and actually talked with him a few days ago. And that building is, I'm talking about there at Poloff and what's that, North Lee Highway, maybe, Four Corners there?
Yeah, probably Stewart Road and
something.
Yeah. Keith's North Lee Highway.
Yeah, I don't know. I still go on that CVS looking for the movie theater.
Yeah.
Looking for the old Carmike.
I worked there.
Did you really?
The Carmike 4.
Did you really?
I sure did.
What'd you do?
Concessions and box office, some too. Mainly concessions. I was the person that got yelled at when we had to charge for the cup.
Oh,
so somebody
you charged
water,
for the cup.
we still had to charge full price.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yep. That was
so
me.
A lot of you new people don't realize the CVS over there, I guess on Stewart Road, used to be the Carmike movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
And you worked there. Well, no wonder they shut it down.
Bow tie and vest and all.
Man, you just wish prescription drugs were available back then when you were there. All right, Burchett, what's up?
Happy birthday to Julia Scoggins today, owner of J&S Restaurants and Hardee's here locally. Also, Edie Payne is having a birthday today. Rudy Felton and Judy Payne, they are twins, celebrating their 75th birthdays today. John Goodwin is having a birthday that is from his wife, Michelle. Eddie and Michelle Garland, they are celebrating their 33rd wedding anniversary today. They tell us they are high school sweethearts. Justin Gregory is celebrating today, a special ed teacher at Walker Valley. Sky Williams is 16 today. That is from his family, Mom, Dad, Leo, River, and Gaga. Karen Miller is having a birthday today from her husband. Barry Ray is also celebrating today. That is from his staff at Legacy Senior Living. And then Chuck and Kathy Evans, they celebrated their 25th wedding anniversary yesterday.
Wow.
Calling your birthdays.
She lasted that long. I can't believe it, Chuck.
He says he loves her now more than ever.
His buddy Novak Djokovic got beaten straight sets. That had never happened before that I remember a Wimbledon final where I actually saw it before I went to church.
Oh.
Hey, a lot of you say, well, I didn't know you went to church.
Yeah,
Well,
sure didn't.
Hey, go ahead. You got more there?
Yeah, well, call in your birthdays and wedding anniversaries to us for tomorrow. We'll take those on the Volunteer Ridipest Mix line, 614-6499. You can also text us at that same number on the Cleveland State Cougar line. Go to our website, mymix1041.com, or download our free Mix 1041 app. It's the Simmons Bank celebration list. At Simmons Bank, they've been helping their customers make their dreams come true since 1903. Call Ken Do, 423-381-3427.
So, I just asked Congressman Fleischmann who he thinks is going to be named VP tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reports are that former President Trump's going to announce his running mate tonight, the first night of the convention.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? I was just sent the odds on all of this. Burgum is the leader.
Really?
Doug Burgum is the former governor, I guess, of North Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
And you were very rude about him, but he could be the VP.
I did not. I was not rude.
So, and I don't understand odds. Bridget does. She's understood them long before they were legal.
Mm-hmm.
But Burgum and then J.D. Vance, author of Hillbilly Elegy, and then Rubio. Now, Rubio's way back there. Now, these are the, what?
Kanye West is on this list.
Kanye's on? I don't even think we can kid about him anymore. Steve Bannon's on the list, but he's in prison. Tucker Carlson, he's on the list. Glenn Youngkin,
I would think Tim Scott would be higher on that list.
Burgum and then Vance, and they're pretty tight. And I think one could look at that and say, well, it's interesting, though, that Fleischmann mentioned Burgum. So he knows something, obviously. And my goodness, when I asked him that, did he stammer around like a politician, as a matter of fact? Chuck stammered around. I could tell something was up. But he said Burgum. And then, of course, he had to qualify it 50 ways from Sunday and saying he knew nothing about it.
Or maybe he does.
And then I asked if it was him, and he started giggling. 3:49. All right, so here's where we're going here. We got the top of the hour coming up. We'll go back to Fox World and National News, and then in a few minutes, it's actually going to be, I understand, about 25 after 9. We're going to have Senator Bill Hagerty live from Milwaukee. We wanted to get the senator's take on what happened Saturday and the assassination attempt on the former President Trump. Senator Bill Hagerty is a co-chair of the election effort of Trump in the state of Tennessee with Marsha Blackburn, Senator Blackburn. Also, and we'll talk about this with Senator Hagerty, he has been rumored for numerous cabinet positions if former President Trump is elected again as president. So a lot to talk about with Senator Bill Hagerty. If you're one of these that has to leave us at this point, as we get to 9 o'clock. Don't forget, you can always go back and watch the interviews and more, mixtv.tv. Hey, Fruitless, we got that. I'm wearing my ESPN button down, thanks to Travis Godfrey at Southern Promotions. I understand we're starting the afternoon show over there today. Is that right?
That's what I heard. Are we?
Yeah, it's The Drive presented by Hardee's.
Who's doing that?
Well, that's going to be Dwayne and loser number one. Or he's actually loser number two.
You must be talking about Josh.
Commissioner Rogers. Loser number one is Shelton. Loser number two is Rogers. Well, or one would say Dumb and Dumber. But anyway, they got their big new show starting at 4 o'clock. And guess who's going to be on it?
I know who.
Go ahead and tell us.
The marketing director for Hardee's.
Well, that's what I was saying. Yeah, Nicole Morissette, who hates me, is the first guest. Boy, she better be good at Julia Scoggins, her boss today over at J&S.
Yeah.
No, they're going to have Mike Keith, Mr. Titans himself.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
no,
and then it's straight uphill from here. I mean, how low can you go?
I haven't heard that. I might have to listen this evening.
Mike Keith, who at the Tennessee Radio Hall of Fame 3 years ago attacked me. 2021 said, stop bad-mouthing the Titans. I said, well, no. I didn't know what I said. Well, you know me, of course. Okay, I didn't say anything. So I got Mike Keith. I got a bunch of guests on. Right. So it's going to be a great show. 4:06. It's our brand new show, The Drive, presented by Hardee's on ESPN Cleveland, 101.3. Proud to have ESPN in the family. A lot of big stuff coming. A lot of big announcements. Just we'll figure something out and do it.
Here's the best part. Steve Hartline will not be involved.
Not going to be involved at all.
That's why I'll be listening.
Wasn't invited to be involved. They have meetings, thank God, without me. And I've basically been under a rock. So, yeah, I'm not involved in the least. And neither is Burchett. And neither are you. It's their own station.
I'll be involved as a listener.
No, you won't. Be watching your DVRs of Days of Our Lives. ESPN Cleveland 1013.com is the website. You can listen anywhere in the world.
Broadcasting from the Kia of Cleveland studios. This is your home for the best mix, the best variety, and all the important information you need. Download the Mix 1041 app at mymix1041.com.
The top of the hour is presented by Best Buy Metals, making sure the top of your house is the best it can be. BestBuyMetalRoofing.com.
The best mix, the best variety. WCLE, Calhoun, Cleveland, Athens.
Alchemy MedSpa Wellness Center is the area's.
Thank you, Cleveland and Bradley County, for supporting Bender Realty for the last 55 years. More than ever, we are ready and prepared to help our community be home. The real estate market is changing and evolving, and the Bender Realty family is ready to help navigate today's market by providing professional, knowledgeable, and resourceful advisors to help your dream of calling someplace home. For all things real estate, be home with Bender Realty, 425 25th Street, 423-472-2173, Bender-Realty.com.
When the classic flavors of bacon, lettuce, and tomato meet the classic goodness of Hardee's Frisco lineup, you get instant summer favorites. Introducing Hardee's Frisco BLT Angus Burger and Frisco BLT Hand-Breaded Chicken Sandwich.
Mixed Mornings on Mix TV is Southeast Tennessee's best way to stay informed about local news, sports, weather, and community events, as well as traffic conditions. Plus, you'll never miss a minute of the latest whimsical banter and rants by the one and only Steve Hartline. Who wrote this promo? Never miss a minute. Mixed Mornings on MixTV.tv. Weekdays 7 to 9. MixTV.tv. I'm going to find out who wrote this.
Starting off this new week in the Tennessee Valley with some heat, and then some four-letter words that starts with a C, which could be cold, and then another one with an R. Clay?
We'll say cool, Paul, but
not cold.
Not cold yet, but hey, we're getting there. But you crank up that AC, make it cold in the house because you're going to need it today. It is hot out there and humid. Temperatures generally going to be in the 90s. And here's a look at our new weather wall. Pretty state of the art, if you ask me. Very nice, and I hope you're all enjoying the new studio so far. But here's a look at temperatures. Again, stepping out the door, it's pretty warm out there. 81 already in Chattanooga. We really didn't cool down all that much overnight with the cloud cover. 77 in Cleveland, 71 in Blue Ridge, 73 in Lafayette. So as you can tell, there's already very warm air locked in across the Tennessee Valley today. Once again, mid to upper 90s with some areas potentially pushing over 100 degrees. Now, this past weekend, we hit 100 twice in Chattanooga, making the 4th time this year, and that's rivaling what we had back in 2012, where we had 9 days in the triple digits. And that was one of the hottest years on record. So we're well on our way. But as we take a look at your hour by hour, notice the heat index climbing over 100 later this afternoon. We're going to have a lot of cloud cover early, but as that sun breaks through, that's going to give us that lift, producing some of those pop-up showers and storms. But right now, all is quiet, high pressure building in. A lot of cloud cover, however, that kept the heat trapped overnight, and that's why it's so warm here in Chattanooga in the 80s. Those dew points are up. Yeah, we had a little bit of a reprieve in the humidity last week, not so much this week, as we're just going to be dealing with very humid conditions, but it is going to cool down a little bit. Despite the humidity, we are going to fall down into the low 90s by Thursday and highs in the 80s. That is just gorgeous. I mean, especially after all of these really hot and humid days. But check this out. This is our days above 95 degrees, at or above, I should say, so far this year. So 21 beats the last 5 years we've had, and we're starting to get closer to that 2019 number. That was also one of the hotter years we've had. So we'll likely add a few more days until we start to cool down, and then we'll see what the pattern holds for the rest of the month. But for now, the next 6 to 10 days, believe it or not, trending cooler for a pretty good chunk of the country. Those blues are a sight for sore eyes. We are happy to see that. We have a pretty good shot at below normal temperatures. And keep in mind, our average high right around 90, 91 this time of the year. So below normal would typically be right around the 80s here across the Tennessee Valley, which is definitely something that we could get used to. As we take a look at your futurecast, there is going to be the chance of pop-up showers and storms, first developing along the Cumberland Plateau and in some of the higher elevations in western North Carolina, and then drifting into the valley. Now, the coverage is not going to be incredibly high today, but you could get some heavy downpours with some gusty winds. Not expecting any severe weather. And then overnight, as we lose that daytime heating, the storm chances fade, and then we're going to do it all over again on Tuesday. Notice how those showers and storms really start to explode going into the afternoon and evening, and then kind of fade out as we get into the latter half of the day. And that's going to be the pattern over the next couple of days. And then moving into the middle of the week, a better chance of some scattered showers. We're going to have this front coming in from the north. That'll give us that scattered rain throughout the day on Thursday as well. And then the front drops to the south. That could push the rain chances a little further to the south on Friday before we get that moisture surging back upwards going into the weekend. So
right here at 9:07. Fox News is next, presented by Capital Tire Service in downtown Cleveland.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. Former President Trump is in Milwaukee for the RNC, ready to deliver a message of unity after the assassination attempt at his Pennsylvania rally.
And he says he's completely rewritten his speech to focus on unity rather than on President Biden's policies. Trump said the speech he was going to give on Thursday was going to be a humdinger. Had this not happened, this would have been one of the most incredible speeches. Honestly, it's going to be a whole different speech now.
Fox's Brooke Singman. President Biden ordering an independent review of the security at the rally. The Secret Service director out with a statement this morning say they will participate fully.
The Secret Service was in charge of security at the rally. The shooter's location, though, was outside of the perimeter that the federal agency had swept, a jurisdiction under local police, per Secret Service spokesperson Anthony Guglielmi.
That's Fox's Madeline Rivera. America's listening to Fox News.
Good morning, everyone. Mix 1041, mixtv.tv. It's 8 minutes after 9 o'clock. Steve Hartline with you this morning on what has been a very special broadcast as we have looked back and looked basically in the aftermath of the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump in Pennsylvania on Saturday evening. We do have one more guest we're going to be speaking with this morning. He is United States Senator Bill Hagerty of Tennessee. Senator Hagerty is in Milwaukee this morning, the site of the Republican National Convention, which begins today. We're going to talk with the senator coming up here in about 15 minutes from right now. Senator Hagerty will join us live from Milwaukee. We're going to, right now, though, get a check of our
Tennessee Valley weather.
Mermaid Mattress Weather Center forecast right here. Mermaid Mattress.
Buy a Mermaid mattress today, and you can come to our factory tomorrow and watch your new mattress being made. Come buy from the Tennessee Valley's only truly factory direct mattress company, Mermaid Mattress.
Now, from Local 3 News, it's coverage you can count on.
Another hot and humid day is in store for the Tennessee Valley. High temperatures will top out in the mid to upper 90s, with some areas potentially hitting the triple digits. The heat index could rise as high as 105 degrees, and there will be the potential for afternoon showers and storms. For tonight, mainly clear with overnight lows in the mid 70s, and for your Tuesday, hot, humid with afternoon storms, highs in the upper 90s. For the latest, download the Local 3 weather app. I'm Storm Alert meteorologist Clay Smith.
Don Ledford Pre-Owned Trucks, SUVs, and Cars is a dealership to shop with for quality and variety if your vehicle purchase plan.
There are a lot of banks, so what makes Southern Heritage Bank unique? It's our commitment to being unbelievably good as we identify and meet your needs. Stop by one of our 5 locations in Cleveland or Chattanooga and let us show you the difference our customers have come to expect. We strive to offer the latest banking technology. Mobile wallet, online account opening, mobile banking with bill pay, and ATMs that allow cash or check deposit. All available 24/7 with a local community bank. Southern Heritage Bank, a division of First Citizens National Bank, member FDIC.
When the classic flavors of bacon, lettuce, and tomato meet the classic goodness of Hardee's Frisco lineup, you get instant summer favorites. Introducing Hardee's Frisco BLT Angus Burger and Frisco BLT Hand-Breaded Chicken Sandwich.
Sun is shining, it's a beautiful day. Wake up, sleepyhead, get up and play. Everything's yellow, it's a beautiful sight. Sunbeam showers makes everything right. Come on now, let's get away.
Make every day brighter with the sunny southern goodness of Mayfield Dairy.
Okay, pop quiz, hotshot. What's not royalty but comes in queen or king?
Dad, a mattress, duh.
Okay, you passed that one, but you better not fail the Mermaid Mattress back to school test.
I did study for this one. Right now, we're paying your sales tax and we'll deliver your mattress for free.
You always were a good student.
Thanks, Dad, that's sweet. How about this for extra credit for the college kids? We've got dorm mattress toppers for only $99.
Top of the class, but it's only at Mermaid Mattress, Chattanooga's best of the best mattress store.
For like a million years now.
This month, it's all about you at Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland with our You Pick event. Choose a brand new Nissan Sentra, Versa, or Kicks with no money down and just $275 a month. That's right, no money down and only $275 a month. At Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland, it's all about what you want. Visit us today at cleveland-nissan.com. Come see us at Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland and drive home in your dream car.
Hey, it's Josh with exciting news from Wholesale Supply. I want to introduce you to Piper's Picks, now available in our Chattanooga, Cleveland, and Dalton markets. Thanks to our partnership with Piper Strummett and our friends at Progress Lighting, Piper's Picks brings you the latest trends and styles in decorative lighting. Browse our curated selection in our showrooms and make lighting your project easier than ever. Visit Wholesale Supply today and discover Piper's Picks, where style meets innovation. To find out more information and a location near you, visit wholesalesupply.us for more.
Save a bundle at Eller & Owen's Furniture and Mattress. Furniture, mattresses, and decor. The more you buy, the more you save. Up to 40% off. Create a bundle, a sofa and chairs, end tables, a recliner, lamps and rugs, an entire room. Up to 40% off. Create a custom bundle and watch the savings grow. Up to 40% off. Look for Take Me Home Today tags. Bundle in-stock items. Special financing is available. Bundle and save at Eller & Owen's Furniture and Mattress.
You need money overnight? Check into cash. Your time is tight.com. Bank account's too low? Check into cash. So where do you go.com? Do it online in a record time. It's the easy way to get money next day. Do a quick click from home at checkintocash.com. You can be sure it's secure from our bank straight to yours. Do a quick click from home at checkintocash.com. Boom, boom, ba-dum, boom.
Paula, tell us about how you came to shop at Chattanooga Auto Square.
Well, I was introduced to it from my husband. He purchased his first Range Rover years ago. Then occasionally I'd start asking him if I could start driving it. I would confidently recommend them. I mean, they make you feel like family from the moment you arrive. Being in real estate for like 34 years, you really come to value and appreciate the level of service that Range Rover gives you. Chattanooga Auto Square, luxury lives here.
Equal parts distracting and just beautiful, isn't it? It's a 65 Shelby GT 350 Mustang. We're inside Big Dog Detailing. They detail rare cars like this. We're going to meet Wayne Woodman now. Wayne, you're known for doing work on cars such as this.
Yes.
Well, we're talking about a piece of American aviation history is why we're talking to you today. You had a hand in detailing and restoring.
It was a 1955 YF-102A. It's a interceptor jet. It was the first of its kind. There was only ever 4 of them built. A test piece for the U.S. Air Force. Mm-hmm. They were testing modern weapons at the time. They were testing the speed of sound, and it was the first aircraft to ever break the speed of sound. Their thing was that they wanted to come in, drop their bombs, and get out before anybody even knew they were there. And it was the first aircraft to ever do it.
I mean, as you're looking at pictures of it, it looks like a needle. It's very capable of doing that.
Oh yeah, it was pretty cool to be in that situation, to be able to put your hands on a piece of American history and to see what it was and what we got it back to was just phenomenal.
How does a guy who can do such fine work on cars get involved in a piece of American aviation history? You're working on a jet just like that.
In this industry, it's a lot of networking and meeting the right people. So we actually met a detailer that was actually on a TV show, stayed in contact. Back in February, he reached out to me and said, hey, I have an opportunity of a lifetime. And boy, was it. Strange at first. I'm like, well, I've never put hands on a jet. But
not many of us have.
You know what? I'm in. I'm ready to do it. Let's do it, because that's what sets us apart, is jumping on those opportunities of being able to do things that other people haven't.
It's a lesson in life too. When it knocks, it's good to answer sometimes.
Yes.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, you were one of less than 10 detailers in the nation to do this.
So yeah, we had a team of 9 of us total. It was in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Sullenberger Aviation Museum. When we got there and we stepped back and looked at it, we're like, this is a lot bigger project than we expected. The plane had sat for many years outside of the Air National Guard. And if you've ever driven by those, you see those planes are in some rough condition. Mm-hmm. The museum really wanted this plane brought back to the original. And so we had to strip all the paint. We had to buff and polish, and when we got done, that plane is a mirror finish. They had projected us to be there for 6 days. We were able to get the project done in 4.
It's 9 of the best detailers basically in the nation. One of them right here from Chattanooga. Now that piece of American history preserved forever.
Right. That aircraft is actually on loan from the U.S. Air Force. Yeah, and like I said, there was only 4 of them ever made.
Right.
This is the only one that's left.
Wow, talk about giving life to a piece of history.
Yeah, and it will remain there forever. It's actually, when he was working on it too, do you remember the plane that they had the emergency landing on the Hudson River? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He was standing right next to that plane in the hangar while he was working on that one. So yeah, he's got all sorts of stories. But in the meantime, he is currently back home doing car detailing. He's one of the best around to do. That's all these certifications. Big Dog Detail TN.com. We'll have that online.
Keep that in mind.
Well. Yeah. He actually pointed.
We're getting straight to the latest in the shooting at former President Trump's rally yesterday. The alleged shooter, 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, is now dead. A spectator was also killed and 2 others were injured. Trump was showing a chart of border crossing numbers when bangs started ringing through the crowd. Trump could be seen reaching with his right hand toward his ear, and there appeared to be blood on his face. The suspected shooter was on the roof of a building nearly 150 yards away from the stage where Trump was standing. Now, in our area, our reporter Riley Nagel has been gathering details about the investigation, what national and local leaders are saying, and what this means for the former president and his expected acceptance of the Republican Party's nomination for president.
The FBI has assumed the role as the lead law enforcement agency in this investigation. They've recovered an AR-style rifle at the scene, believed to have been used by the shooter. An AP analysis of more than a dozen videos and photos from the scene of the Trump rally, as well as satellite imagery of the site, shows the shooter was able to get astonishingly close to the stage where former President Trump was speaking, less than 164 yards. Those at the rally reacting to what they witnessed.
When we heard this go off, we thought it was firecrackers at first, and then somebody hollered everybody to the ground, so we're all going down to the ground, and we weren't sure if Trump got hit or not, because the first thing we saw was all the Secret Service crowding around Trump.
The man at the center of the investigation, 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, was ultimately killed by Secret Service agents.
This evening we had what we're calling an assassination attempt against our former president, Donald Trump. It's still an active crime scene. As I mentioned, we have a number of agents on scene. We also are working closely with other federal agencies, our state partners, and our local police partners as well.
And we are coming to you here this morning with a special broadcast. This morning, let's go to the phone line. We're joined now live from Milwaukee in the Republican National Convention by Senator Bill Hagerty. Senator, good morning.
Good morning, Steve. Good to be on with you this morning.
Well, thank you very much, sir, and good to have you. I want to just immediately go to your thoughts on what happened, the attempted assassination of former President Trump on Saturday.
It's just heartbreaking that it's come to this here in America. I talked to President Trump yesterday evening, and he's in amazingly, good spirits after what was attempted. He's a fighter. He's, Steve, basically the toughest person I've ever met. And, I've worked with him closely since back in 2016. He's so resilient. It's incredible. The attacks on him have been verbal to this point. They've been brutal. But, and you've seen what's happened to him in the courtroom. Those attacks have been brutal as well. But I think we never expected something like this in America. Frankly, I think most Americans are waking up and looking back and saying they've never seen anything like this occur to somebody that comes in and it challenges the status quo the way Donald Trump has. And I think it's making his message resonate, that he's standing for the forgotten men and women in America. That's what this convention is dedicated to this week, and I think it takes on a far, far deeper meaning after everybody saw what happened on Saturday. I've had outreach from all over the world come to me to convey their best wishes to President Trump. Kid Rock and I did an event together last night on stage for the sadly lost life of 2 children, a first responder who instinctively tried to protect his family and took a bullet. Those that were injured, we've raised now over $3 million fund me effort, and Kid Rock and I were together last night getting that pumped up, and it's really amazing to see the generosity of the American public come through. And I think it's important to say that that's where President Trump's focus has been right now, is on those who were killed and lost.
We're joined by Senator Bill Hagerty live from Milwaukee's site of the Republican National Convention, which begins today. I want to go back, Senator, to this past Saturday, and there are a lot of questions about why this happened. Obviously, not just the motive of the shooter, but even before that, the fact that the shooter was allowed to get so close. Some estimates are 150 yards or so from the president. I know there's going to be a lot of investigation. Hearings already set for next Monday in Washington. But what are you hearing, and also your opinion of how this played out?
Well, I think it's clear that there were failures here. We've got to, wait to see, I think, before we start pointing fingers at folks. But obviously there was a failure. Those that were around and the Secret Service agents that were around President Trump were immediately on top of him. But I'll have to say this. The agency itself reports up through Alejandro Mayorkas, the Department of Homeland Security. They have grossly failed at their job at the very top. The woman that they brought in, the Biden administration brought in a woman to run Secret Service. I think her focus has been on diversity, equity, and inclusion. If you think about what this administration has done in terms of losing focus, losing mission, you've got a Pentagon that's more focused on pronouns than they are on lethality. I don't know what's been happening at Secret Service, but I tell you this: in the previous administration, when I worked for President Trump, I had a significant security detail. They were on it, and I just can't imagine that there won't be significant accountability at the end of the day once we find out how this was how this oversight occurred. I hope it's a wake-up call. I thank God President Trump is alive. I think we all do. Again, and my heart goes out to the gentleman who lost his life and to those who were hurt.
There have been calls even from some of your colleagues in Congress, including Tim Burchett, who we had on earlier this morning, for the Secret Service Director, Kimberly Cheadle, to step down. Would you agree with that?
Well, I think she needs to answer first. We need to get to the bottom of what happened. I think that might be too easy. I think we need to find out what the administration has done, because Americans are losing faith in our institutions, Steve. And when they are as misguided as this one perhaps is, with focus on issues that have nothing to do with their remit, and rather than thinking about first and foremost strength, security, and protection, if they're thinking about diversity, equity, and inclusion, I think we really are missing the boat. So let's find out what's happened. And I may be standing in the exact same place Tim is, but I want to see accountability first.
We're joined by Senator Bill Hagerty live from Washington. I want to move to the convention itself, which starts today. I was reading some interviews with former President Trump. He gave a couple of interviews on his plane going to Milwaukee yesterday afternoon. One thing he said is he began to rewrite his address to the convention that he will give on Thursday night. He said he's looking more to unify and to unity.
I talked to him about that last night, actually, and I think that's exactly what you're going to hear. He and I talked about the fact that he's going to bring Nikki Haley on stage in the convention. Again, all of this is aimed toward not only unifying the Republican Party in the wake of a primary, but also in unifying the nation. This convention is dedicated to the forgotten men and women of America. President Trump has said time and again that it's not him they're coming after, it's all of us. And if you think about, people in Tennessee like you and me, Steve, we're in the flyover states, as the coastal elites like to call us, the folks in New York, Hollywood, the mainstream media. The condescension I think we're sick of, but more than that, it's just this constant repeat of, inflammatory language that can lead somebody that's deranged to do something absolutely crazy, which seems to be what might have happened here. I think the American public has had a real wake-up call. It's time to unify. I think they're very tired of the divisive language coming out of this White House and out of the far left. And the reason I think, Steve, we're hearing all of this crazy rhetoric and condemnation and words like Hitler and fascism and World War III is because they have no policies. So they can actually get down to discussion of policies, successes, and failures. They lose every time. I was working with President Trump before the last debate. We were just sitting down in Mar-a-Lago going through the foreign policy wins that President Trump had when I served in his administration. I serve on the Foreign Relations Committee now. And was in that type of role when I worked for him in the last administration. And every aspect of our foreign relations has turned worse. If we think about it from the perspective of Americans, we're all far worse off. You think about the danger, the national security threats we have by virtue of the collapse of the southern border. We don't know who's in this country. We know crime is up in our cities. We know our children are being poisoned by fentanyl. And, we have some very real concerns. We've caught people on the terrorist watch list here that have come across that border under Joe Biden's watch. They've exposed us to amazing, national security risks there. And if I go around the world and think about our allies, every one of them are worse off too.
We're joined by Senator Bill Hagerty. I want to go back to what the President Biden last night addressed the nation. Others in the Republican Party, others in the Democratic Party have all said that, using the term, let's take the temperature down. Is it possible in the day we live in to take the so-called temperature down as far as the divisiveness?
Well, I think if you look at what the Democrats have done in terms of weaponizing every aspect of the government that they can against their enemies, the ball is in their court to do this. If you think about where this rhetoric comes from, the ball is in their court. President Trump has been clear with his staff and with all of us that we need to stay away, to steer clear of that. We win on policies. We win on principles. That's where we need to focus. I think we're going to win on unity. We'll see what the Democrats decide to do, but the far left, is really, having to look themselves in the mirror and ask, is it worth this? Is it worth destroying the nation just to stay in power? They've demonstrated a willingness to do it with what they've done at our southern border, 10 million people later in the past 3.5 years. They've done a tremendous amount of damage already. This is you and I have talked about this before, Steve. This is about the electorate that they're focused on, nothing more, and they're willing to put us through amazing pain to achieve that objective. But it's got to come to an end.
We're joined by Senator Bill Hagerty. Just for a couple more questions here. Senator Hagerty has got a very busy morning there in Milwaukee. So apparently, if one's to believe the reports and the stories coming out of the convention tonight, the vice presidential running mate could be announced tonight. Do you have any insight into that? But let me say this before I ask you this: your buddy, your colleague, Congressman Chuck Fleischmann, was on with me about an hour ago. He suggested you. Are you going to be the vice president?
Well, he's very kind. I talked with the president about the vice presidential choices last night. The last thing I'm going to do, and I think you've known me long enough, Steve. I'm smart enough not to get ahead of the boss, so to speak. This is his announcement to make, and I'm certain that it will be great for America. I'm just happy to be, representing the great state of Tennessee, and it is a tremendous honor to be doing that. And I'm sure that Chuck Fleischmann feels exactly the same way.
And then final question, and I've asked you this before. Obviously, a lot of national media is looking at you if former President Trump is elected in November to join the cabinet. Many positions, including Secretary of State, have been mentioned about yourself. Can you give us an update on any of that?
So the answer to that is a very clear no as well. The focus right now has to be on getting him elected. And to the extent that there's any sideshow going on about who might do what after his election, that just has the potential to distract and actually take away from the primary objective. So I've discouraged everybody that has raised that sort of speculation to set it aside. We got to focus on winning right now. I think Saturday proved it's even more important than ever. We've got to get our nation back, and that's got to happen in November. We can worry about the leadership afterwards.
Final question, Senator Bill Hagerty. Where do we go from here? After Saturday, where do we go from here as a nation?
I think listen carefully. I'm going to encourage everybody that's listening to us this morning, Steve, to listen carefully to President Trump's message on Thursday night and listen to the themes that are coming out over the course of this week. What we need to do is unify. What we need to do is be strong as a nation again. We need to rebuild our economy, get back into the domestic energy business, put ourselves in a position where we can actually be strong allies again, rebuild our military, bring back our diplomacy, make ourselves the leader in technology and innovation again. All of that's possible. President Trump proved it could be done. We can do it again, but we've got to get our nation back and out of the hands of the radicals that have put us in such a dire situation.
Senator Bill Hagerty, live from Milwaukee, the home of the Republican National Convention. Senator, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Steve. All the best.
Thank you, sir. All right, that is going to do it for our what has been a very special morning here. Sadly, in our nation, we face this situation again. Major parties, Democrats, Republicans, independents, who have been shot while running for president, while being a president. It's all too familiar, going back really to the beginning of this nation. And it happened again on Saturday. I would encourage you, if you're just joining us or if you have missed any of our broadcasts since about 7 o'clock this morning, we have some fascinating interviews that we did this morning, some excellent points of view. You can go back on mixtv.tv later this morning and see those, but very informative. These are people who are right in the middle of the conversations and what is happening in our nation. Again, I do want to also make mention here on Saturday evening, when the situation, the attempted assassination of former President Trump happened in Pennsylvania. I do want to thank a man, Ryan Felton. Ryan did a tremendous job putting our coverage together. We patched in with Fox News. I'm very proud of our stations because when it mattered, our stations were live with the updates. So let me say this to you, and I'm going to, folks, I know a lot of you are at work and want to hear some music. I'm going to let you go here, but let me say this. When things happen, nationally, statewide, locally, you can count on our stations to be on the air to bring you the very latest. You can always turn on any of our family of stations and know that's going to happen. Thank you for joining us for this special broadcast this morning. And we're going to, if you're on Mix 104.1, we are going to send you back to music. If you are listening to us or if you're watching us on mixtv.tv, that's the end of the line. With one final reminder, ESPN Cleveland 101.3 will welcome our flagship local show for the first edition this afternoon at 4 o'clock with Dwayne Williams and Josh Rogers. It's called The Drive, presented by Hardee's. They've got a big program planned for 4 o'clock today over on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you very much.
The best mix.